And welcome to Huntington Park Tennis Center in Newport News, Virginia. Hi again, everybody. I'm Greg Picaveras, along with the head tennis coach at Ferguson High School, Jim Bodensick, as we present the men's finals of the Newport News Open, the first ever tennis match on local cable TV on the peninsula. And Jim, welcome to Huntington Park, and the match today between Mark Tepes and Murray Ajabadi should be a nice one.
Certainly should. You've got an interesting contrast between a player who's played college tennis already, Murray Ajabadi, 25 years old, playing Mark Tepes, who's a college-bound player, playing college tennis for the first year. The styles are a little bit different. Murray has driving, slice strokes. Mark is a little more traditional topspin ground strokes. So it should be quite an interesting matchup. I'd like to say, too, that I know this has been an ambition of yours for a while to televise a tennis match, and you put it all together, done a great job.
Thanks, Jim. When you talk about Mark Tepes, he's just finished his 4 years at Lafayette High School in Williamsburg, won the district the last 2 years, the Peninsula District, so he's familiar with this, playing on these courts here at Huntington Park the last 4 years. And Murray Ajabadi played for Hampton University. He's played here before, too, and both of them had pretty easy semifinals coming into this match.
Yeah, both were straight set matches. They played earlier this morning because of the rain delay caused by Friday night. Rain put the schedule back a little bit, but they're both well rested for this final. Nice, little windy conditions here, but the courts are protected and both experienced players, so I don't think they'll have any trouble with the wind.
We'll be talking to the finalists in just a minute. Mark Tepes from Lafayette High School and Murray Ajabadi. Stay tuned. And welcome back to Huntington Park Tennis Center. I'm here with one of the finalists, Mark Tepes, just graduated from Lafayette High School in Williamsburg in 1994. And Mark, pretty easy road to the finals this year at the Newport News Open.
Yeah, I've been playing well. I had a tough time with Jimmy a little bit today. I was a little tight at the beginning, but I played well. I like playing against Jimmy. His game matches up well against mine, so I'm ready for the finals now.
Talked about beating Jimmy Chow 6-2, 6-2, who's going to Wake Forest, and Mark's going to Tennessee Chattanooga, I believe.
Yeah, I'm getting a partial scholarship there. I'll be leaving in a couple days for orientation. I'll stay up there until classes start the 22nd.
You played here on this court for 4 years, and you played Kip Lehman in your first 2 years very competitively. He's now in Alabama in the Peninsula District Tournament, of course, in the head-to-head matches between Lafayette and Menchville. Has that helped you, being familiar with the courts?
Yeah, I played a lot of tournaments here the last maybe 3 years. Played a lot of tough people. I lost a lot on these courts, and on that court there, I had one of my toughest matches against Jimmy I play on. So I know these courts well. Hopefully, I won't be nervous about the court and environment around. So.
What are the keys to beating Murray Ajabadi from Hampton University today?
I played him one time, I guess, maybe 2 years ago, and he beat me pretty bad. I didn't play well. I beat Holden that morning, and I was kind of tired, cramping up a little bit. But I think he's a pretty good player, but I need to be aggressive, more aggressive than I played with Jimmy today. I need to pick on his backhand a lot and just try to come to the net and finish points quickly.
All right, good luck, Mark. We'll be back with the next player, Murray Ajabadi, after this.
Hi, Jim Bodensick here from the Newport News Open. We have your other semifinalist here for our feature match today, Murray Ajabadi from Nigeria. Murray, welcome to the Peninsula tennis scene. We've enjoyed having you here this year, playing some of the Nomad Grand Prix tournaments.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
I'd like to ask you a little bit about this match today. What do you think about playing this young player who's bound for college? Experienced junior player, but you're very experienced as well. What do you think?
In my own case, all I have to do is just to enjoy myself while I'm playing tennis. Winning or losing doesn't even really matter. It's just to enjoy myself on the tennis court. And that's why I'm here, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
It sounds like you have a super attitude toward the match, and I think a lot of people could take a cue from that. If they enjoy their tennis, then the good will come from it as it comes. Let me ask you a little about your background in tennis, Murray, and playing in Nigeria. Tell us just briefly about yourself.
I was born in Nigeria, and I started playing tennis at the age of 8 with my father. And by the age of 15, I started representing my country in an international engagement. Doing that for the period of time, I was given a scholarship at Hampton University, which is I was All-American for 4 years, and I was for the national championship.
Okay, that's tremendous. It's a pleasure to have you here today. Good luck in this final match.
Thank you very much.
Hi there. It's a gorgeous day for tennis. I'm Holly Williams with 96X WROX-FM, our sister station, WNIS 850 AM. And we're hanging out here, and today I get to do the cool one. I have the cool interview with a gentleman like the human interest story. Mr. Nickens has been in this area for how long, sir?
Oh, about 21 years.
Okay, so now from what I understand, he's been digging and absolutely loving tennis, but just recently started to play for about 35 years.
That's right. I've watched it for 35 years. I've been playing for about 6 weeks.
Okay, that's terrific. Now you're playing over here on the peninsula
Yes,
at Kiln Creek.
at Kiln Creek.
Okay. And I understand your coach is here.
Yes, Brian Hogg.
Okay, that's terrific. You're from Denby.
Yes.
And your wife is also getting involved with tennis.
Well, she got involved at 62.
62.
Right, and I'm getting involved at 62 also.
Okay, one quick question. The favorite match of all time that you've witnessed on television or live?
Live. It would have to be, I can't think right now. I watched a lot of matches at Forest Hills out in Queens, New York, pro matches, and I saw them all. Connors, McEnroe, everybody.
Well, there you go. No favorite.
The greatest.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Nickens. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.
And we're back courtside here at Huntington Park in beautiful Midtown Newport News. Greg Picaveras along with Jim Bodensick, the finals of the Newport News Men's Open Final here at Huntington Park. And Jim, just a gorgeous day for tennis, first of all.
It's beautiful. It must be in the high 80s and a little bit hotter on court, of course. A little breeze, but the courts are well protected by the windscreen, so I don't think the wind will affect the players much.
Jean Smith is our chair umpire today, and you know her very well.
Yeah, Jean is a good friend in officiating. In fact, she got me into officiating a few years ago, and she's done everything from U.S. Open to just about everything in between. So the players have an experienced chair umpire.
Right, we have the ball boys and ball girls from Brian Hogg at Kiln Creek and Newport News.
That's right. All the ball kids are participants in the USTA PTPA junior team tennis program, and Brian has been nice enough to get them together for us to come out today and help the players out a little bit.
The players are taking their serves and warm-ups, as you can see. Murray Ajabadi there in the one serving the ball right there against Mark Tepes. And we talked about this in the pregame show. You have a young player, 18 years old, in Mark Tepes, versus a veteran, experienced player, Murray Ajabadi, in Dr. Screen's program at Hampton University.
Yeah, you don't want to give Mark, you don't want to cut him any on the experience, because he's a very experienced junior player. I know he's played several national championships, and he's got a lot of experience under his belt for a player his age. Murray, of course, is more experienced,
right,
and playing at a higher level, so it should be interesting to see if the youngster can keep up with the, in quotes, old man, 25 years old.
I want to thank, this tennis match is being underwritten by several businesses throughout the peninsula. They're underwriting the entire broadcast and making this tennis match possible. As you see, Murray Ajabadi, gorgeous day for tennis right off the James River here in Newport News. Steve's Steak and Seafood House, Water and Health, Selective Singles, Ditto's Refreshment Stand, Hair Razors, RJ's Restaurant and Sports Pub, Henry Hecker and Eric Hecker, audiologists in Newport News, Mark's Delicatessen in Yorktown. We also have Smithfield Gardens, Ramada Inn and Conference Center, College Planning Services, Proteus Educational Foundation, Wright Modeling, P.S. I Love You Gift Shop, OSMS, Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine. You'll be hearing more about this group of sponsors later. Virginia Enterprises and the Newport News Omni Gym. And me and you have been doing radio shows since 1991, and this is basically how it all got started. As you see some of the fans in the stands here on this gorgeous day. We started this back in 1991, and our friendship, of course, started back when I was in high school with your son Greg. In fact, we played our last match together here at Huntington Park.
Okay, match is ready to start.
Tepes serving. Best 2 out of 3 sets, right, Jim?
That's correct. If they get to 6 games all, they'll play a 12-point tiebreak to determine the set.
And Ajabadi gets the first point. It would be love 15. There you see Murray Ajabadi. And do we expect more of a ground stroke type game out of these two players, Jim?
Yes, although both are excellent net players when they come in behind the ball, I think especially early in the match they will be staying back, just trying to feel each other out, the depth of the stroke, trying to get into the match a little bit. And there Mark proves me wrong by coming in on the second point of the match.
And Tepes puts it away right there. And we've seen him do more of that his junior and senior year in high school. And you've seen it firsthand as the opposing coach for Ferguson High School. He went to Lafayette and Williamsburg.
Yeah, you can be very effective coming in on the right ball. 15 all.
And that should go deep. Be 15-30. Tepes is wearing a white shirt, short black pants, and a headband, and Ajabadi is wearing a white shirt and purple shorts. He defeated Holden Knight 6-3, 6-2, and Mark Tepes, as he said, beat Jimmy Chow, a rival of his, 6-2, 6-2 in the semifinals.
As we said in the pregame interviews, both players should be warmed up but well rested for this final match.
Second service coming up. All the ball boys and ball girls from Bryant Hogg and ex-Gloucester High School stand out.
I'd like to point out that the chair umpire is calling the score. The players are calling their own lines. You'll find that most matches are conducted in that manner. Tennis is a gentleman and gentlewoman's game, and the chair umpire does have the prerogative to overrule a call if she feels an error has been made.
A lob there by Ajabadi falls deep. And the first game is still underway here. Steve's Steak and Seafood House, open 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Give them a call at 595-9483 on 11847 Jefferson Avenue. Specialize in steak, seafood, and burgers. Steve's Steakhouse and Seafood. You see the number on the screen there, Jim? You've been there a few times.
Yes, fine establishment.
The shot is out. It makes it deuce.
Deuce.
Tepes and Ajabadi's patient, so this is going to be a very, but Tepes, like you said, has got the experience to play with his patience.
Right off the bat here, we have an even game.
Something we've been working on for 4 years, Jim, on radio, and finally get a chance to see this match. And you've been running the Grand Prix group since 1991. Tepes to the net. Ajabadi keeping it in play. And Mark Tepes, the patience, gets a big point right there and has the advantage in the first game.
It's always a big confidence builder if you can get the first game under your belt. You're playing someone, I'm not sure if these fellows have played before, but I don't think so. Mm-hmm. And it's always great to win that first game on your serve, especially when you're playing somebody new.
They take a look at beautiful Huntington Park. Jim and I right here. Greg Picaveras and Jim Bodensick at Huntington Park. Water and Health bottled water coolers. 872-7592 in the Denby Crossing Shopping Center for all the water and health needs you need. And how much of a fatigue factor does it come in when you play a semifinal match early in the morning, then you got to play again 4 hours later?
Well, I think if there's anything that favors either player, it may favor Mark, the younger player, who probably plays more than Murray does. However, Murray is in excellent shape. He's got a lot of natural ability to draw from, and I don't think either player has had a real tough tournament so far. I don't think fatigue will be a factor unless we have another 3.5-hour match, as one of the previous matches went in this tournament.
Oh, yes. Holden Knight played
William Hagler.
A couple of years ago, Jim, that score might have been in straight sets, but times have changed. Advantage Mark Tepes, the graduating senior from Lafayette High School in Williamsburg, has really been a big star the last 2 or 3 years. And you've seen him grow the last couple of years, Jim, with his father really being behind him in tournaments.
That's right. Mark having a little bit of trouble on his first serve, but he's getting away with it so far. Nice, deep driving second serve.
And he wins the first game, Jim. 1-love in the first set. We're underway here at Huntington Park Tennis Center as Tepes bound to Elvis's home state, Tennessee, to play for Tennessee Chattanooga. For a while, he was going to go to Virginia Tech and Old Dominion, but he decided to go to the Southeast in Tennessee Chattanooga. Also, Selective Singles is helping us with this underwritten of this broadcast. Meet, mix, and mingle every Monday night at the Newport News Omni. Give Lila Lewis a call right there on the screen, 249-LILA or 249-5452. We're going to take a look at the replay, Jim, and set it up for us, the last point.
Okay, Mark he'd been spinning the second serve in with not much drive and kick on it, and I think he just put a little extra on that one. Seemed to surprise Murray, who did not get the ball in play. It's a good tactic if you can lure your opponent in with hitting the same speed serves, and then all of a sudden throw in something with a little more slice, a little more spin, a little more speed. You'll generally win the point the first time you do that. It's nice to save that up for a time when you need it. He had a very difficult first game there, and as I said, he's now got the first game under his belt.
Mark is also an excellent soccer and tennis player, was soccer all-state player until 6th grade, as Ajabadi will take his first service of the set. Also swam in the Junior Olympics, state 50-meter butterfly. 15 love. Ajabadi have a strong serve, Jim. Is that going to be a big factor in his match?
He doesn't have a real heavy flat serve. I've been, I guess you could say, fortunate enough to play against him one time in doubles, and he and his partner were pretty nice to Buddy King and me by letting us win a few games. But he has a real good drive on the ball, which makes it hard for the receiver to get the ball back in play. Murray's style is so smooth, it doesn't look like he's hitting the ball very hard, but it's got plenty on it, I'll guarantee you that.
And it's 15-30. Tepes, the young player, hanging with Ajabadi right now, and when he started coming around his junior year in those tournaments, a lot of ones that you ran, and the ones in Richmond and Maryland, and playing Kip Lehman, that really helped his match a lot. He's got a lot of mental toughness, and that really shows so far early in the match.
Sure. Mark is definitely representative of the fact that you just need to get out there and expose yourself to all different levels of tennis. I think that's something that younger players watching could learn. You may go out there and you may get kicked around a little bit, but you just need to go out and play in some tournaments. We have now some rated tournaments on the peninsula that some of the younger players can play, and it gives you a chance to see all different styles of play and just expose yourself to the different levels. And kids learn so easily and so quickly. If they get a little instruction to go along with playing in the tournaments, they can improve quickly.
30-40 break point for Mark Tepes from Williamsburg. And it's deuce. And that was a drooping serve there by Ajabadi to force the wide shot there. You see Murray Ajabadi in the purple shorts there. Where's he from, Jim?
Murray was born in Nigeria. He's 25 years old, and he has a varied tennis background, including representing Nigeria in international tennis at the age of 16. Also his career at Hampton University.
Nice return by Tepes there. And Mark sticking with it. Good point. Advantage Ajabadi. Excellent hustle there by Mark Tepes to keep that point alive, and Ajabadi has come back from a 15-40 deficit. Ditto's Refreshment Stand. They specialize in home-style burgers and ice cream and soft serve right there on 5619 George Washington Memorial Highway. Go by Ditto's and get an ice cream soft serve right there on Route 17. Hair Razors Incorporated, Family Hair Care and Discount Retail Center on 11,001 Wark Boulevard, Suite 2 in the White Building. Linda Slater, 595-1690. Get a haircut at Hair Razors. Shot was wide, Jim, and the game is score is even, 1-1 in the first set, but Ajabadi came back from a 15-40 deficit to make it even.
Right, I think it's still part of the sounding out process, and Murray decided that he really didn't want to lose that first game and came up with a little variation for Mark there.
Excellent cooperation from everybody today. Jake Wilson, the tournament director, Sonny Derthseer, Daily Press sports writer, who just played in the Virginia State Championships himself in Richmond. Tepes to serve the third game. Love 15. And Jean Smith, you mentioned the tournament chair. She's had a lot of experience in these tournaments on the south side of the peninsula. And it's been a busy summer for you especially, Jim, being all over the Hampton Roads area.
Well, I've been fortunate to be involved in officiating. Let's watch Mark and see what he does on this Love 15 point.
Big point. That was out.
A little deep. Love 30.
And that's where the patience factor comes in on a match like this. The wind blowing just right. RJ's Restaurant and Sports Pub at 874-4246. The Denby Crossing Shopping Center. Go by there and get a steak, crab cake, or whatever. Great food at RJ's. Great rally. 15-30. Game score is 1-all. Henry and Eric Hecker, audiologists. They specialize in hearing. 874-4665. Right off McManus Boulevard.
Big serve and volley point by Mark, setting up that error by Murray.
30-all. And you can feel the wind in the background and see Mark Tepes there at the headband. Very, very inspiring, motivated young kid. Father from Yugoslavia. Ambitious guy. He's got a heart of his own. He's a fighter.
Okay, in that case, the chair umpire did call the fault. Murray Jabati played the ball in good faith because he was not sure that the ball was in or out, but the chair umpire was sure, so she called a fault.
Double fault. And that's what can hurt you against an experienced player like Jabati, because he's not going to give you any points.
That's right. I appreciate.
Mark's Deli, Jim, in Yorktown, specializing in great deli sandwiches, and you're a big fan of deli food.
Absolutely. How can you tell? I've had plenty.
Mark's Deli is one of the best.
Too much, in fact.
Give Mark a call at 898-4228. Salads, sandwiches, subs, he's got it all. Catering. And a double fault will kill you, and then Mark just made 2 double faults, and the score now is 2-1 Jabati, Jim.
That's right. I think Mark was pushing. He was trying to be strong there. First serve in the 15-40 point, just missing. But, two double faults is real trouble at the moment. One of our other fine sponsors is Smithfield Gardens, Inc.
Specialize in flowers and crepe myrtles.
That's right. If you have any garden needs, call them 238-2511.
Ramada Inn and Conference Center for all your hotel needs. Chadwick's Restaurant, excellent over there. Patricia Reed, the general manager. They have a poll, 599-4460, right there on Route 17 in Newport News. I know the mayor of our city goes there a lot on Fridays and has his meetings there. See one of the ball boys. We'll be talking to Jake Wilson in just a few moments. The tournament director is also the principal of Dunbar Irwin Middle School. He'll be joining us to do some commentary.
And Jake is a former tennis coach on the peninsula, I believe at Denby High School. Mm-hmm. And he's been in the school system for a while now. He's been an integral part of the Achievable Dream program,
which takes place here.
That's right.
All summer. This is the
based
third year
at Huntington Park, and also in cooperation with the Newport News City School System. Had Jabati serving, trying to consolidate his break of serve.
2-1. And since the game was one love, 15-40 in favor of Tepes, it's been all Jabati since that break, Jim. And
That's right.
Has a 2-1 lead right now.
Well, I think Murray knows that he has a dangerous player potentially, and I don't think he's going to let his guard down too much. Mark is going to be the one that's going to have to either do something different to change the play or force the action, because Murray's basis is a very steady player. Another double fault with the ball kicking off the tape and over the service line.
He gets to every single point. It's amazing, Ajabadi is. And he's real short and stocky, but he moves around very well.
Nice get by Mark, but Murray's all over it.
Amazing, Jim, isn't it? How you look at him and he looks so unassuming out there, but yet he's like a shark and he gets to every point.
That's right.
And the score now is
30-15.
2 games to 1, Ajabadi. College Planning Services. 4015 4900 845, and also Proteus. Give them a call about all your educational needs, ACT, SAT preparation. Robert Williams is the man. 490-1047 for all your college preparation needs. Graduate school. .40-15, Najabadi. 2 games to 1, first set. And Ajabadi calls it out, Jim. He takes a 3-game-to-1 lead over the young Mark Tepes here in the first set.
Mark just missed with that shot. I think the wind may have pushed him a little bit wide. He looked to the chair umpire for confirmation.
Right Modeling, give them a call at 886-5884. And they are noted for modeling and self-improvement. Nice serve. And Tepes showed his strength right there, Jim.
Beautiful overhead from Mark. I think.
Let's take a look at this shot they called out. That was close.
Very close. Looked just wide from here. Hard to tell on the television angle because you don't have the linesperson's view.
And that sails deep.
Sometimes difficult as a player to tell whether the ball is in or out.
P.S. I Love You gift shop in the Warwick Shopping Center. Give Judy Morris a call, 595-5111. Greg Bicaveras along with Jim Bodensick here. Huntington Park Tennis Center. First ever televised match on Peninsula TV, Warner Cable Channel 5. Newport News Cable as well. Must game, would you say, for Tepes right now, Jim?
Very important at this point.
That was a double fault, and that's his 3rd double fault of the match so far.
Mark tried to put a little extra on that serve and just pulled it wide.
Makes it 30-15. 1 game to 3. Ajabadi leading in the first set. Another double fault, 30-all, Jim.
30-all. I think Mark is trying to do it a little bit extra because he knows he's playing against a real tough player, and he just wants to make sure he's putting forth his best effort. Unfortunately, sometimes you can try a little bit too hard, and the ball ends up going out. Those serves that he's missed have not missed by much.
30-all, big game for Mark Tepes. Got to get his first serve in. That's very important against a player like Ajabadi. Beautiful windy day today in Huntington Park and Newport News. And that sails deep, and unforced errors will kill you, Jim.
Mark got the forcing first serve in, causing a weak return from Ajabadi, but then Mark was not patient enough to get the ball in play. It's difficult when you're playing against a player who's very steady, and Mark is having to do the action here. Another sponsor, Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine Specialist of Hampton Roads, Dr. Trishman's Group, 596-1900. They're past sponsors of the Masters Tournament as well. I think we'll mention later on for the fans a little bit about the tennis scene on the peninsula and what's involved leading up to a tournament such as this Newport News Open and then the Masters. Mark serving at deuce.
Big game for Tepps. Got to get his first serve in for him to win this match. Good point. And he puts it away with a nice shot at the net there, Jim. You see the being a tall player does help to get that reach.
Classic serve and volley tennis there. He served wide to the forehand. Then he drove the ball to the backhand corner, came in behind it, and put the ball away.
Nice group of fans here, Virginia Enterprises. George and Ed Fasella, 873-3646. Quality Residential Construction Company. Nice point. Big win for Tepps right there to make it 3-2 Ajabadi. So this should be an interesting set as we've seen so far. Unforced errors have been a big part so far for Tepps, though, but that was a big win.
That should help Mark. He showed good confidence in his game.
Okay. Take a look at see some of the fans here, Jim. The fans have really come out to support this.
Classic serve and volley tennis here on this point. The approach shot and the angled put away. That puts Mark to add in. He wins the next point.
And it's so important to get those deep shots by the baseline. And we talk about the really excellent fan support for this tennis match on TV. To get it deep, and then when you get the point deep, the player can get it right at the net and put it away. It makes it a lot easy.
That's exactly right. It's something that a lot of young players could learn by learning to not only be able to rally the ball back and forth, but to come in behind it. A lot of times your younger players are not very tall, and they get a little feeling of not wanting to come to the net because they're afraid the ball's going over their head. But it's good to get those that kind of learning in initially, because as they get older, then they're more comfortable with coming into the net. And as we've seen here, Mark had to use those tactics 2 points in a row in order to get out of another deuce game and get back. So he's now just down one service break.
Greg Bicaveras along with Jim Bodesick at Huntington Park in Midtown Newport News, right off the James River. 3-2, Murray Ajabadi. 15 love.
The sun favors the server at this moment because the sun is slightly at Murray's back. That means he doesn't have to, will not interfere with his service toss. He can concentrate on his mechanics. Beautiful drop shot by Murray.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about, that nonchalant approach. Barely even touched it, and it was a great drop shot to make it 30 love. 3-2. Ajabadi. And you can hear the wind right off the James River here at Huntington Park Tennis Center. That was deep. Newport News Omni, Jim, place that you've been to, I've been to. Use their great restaurant middies, the nightclub middies, 873-OMNI, 873-6664. That's been a big part of the Newport News hotel scene the last 5 years.
A lot of tennis players, when they come in from out of town, stay at the Omni. The tournaments that I help with at Center Court Racket Club in the wintertime, that's one of the favorite places for the tournament players to stay.
40 love. Ajabadi. That's deep. And the players got to realize the wind and the sun is going to play a factor, as you see Gene Smith, the chair umpire there, bringing you the first ever tennis match ever on local TV. It's been a big project of ours for years.
Murray's first serve just deep. Sometimes the ball is so close on the serve that you actually have to be prepared to play it. And as you see the ball hit, call it out. If you're not prepared to play the ball and let it hit and it does come in, then you're in trouble. (4-2) Ajabadi with a nice down-the-line passing shot. You'll notice that majority of Murray's shots are underspin as he's rallying, but when he needed that one, he needed to thread the needle down the line, and he came through with the passing shot that he needed. We're being joined here by Sonny Durst, sports writer for the Daily Press.
4-2 in favor of Ajabadi. And Sonny, what does Tepps have to do to get back into this match?
I think Tepps has really got to be patient, and he's got to start getting more of his first serves in. I think he's double faulted some, and As you see right there, he's trying to do too much too early in the point so far, I believe.
Sonny Dirth with us, sports writer and copy editor, as Jim mentioned, at the Daily Press. Been with us on several year-in-review shows on the radio, most recently WNIS this past December. WTJZ, we did a golf special last June.
An excellent tennis player as well.
Played for James Madison. 30. Love 30.
I think Ajabadi's really starting to find his form on the passing shots now. It took him a little while to get into the flow, but it looks like he's found it.
Especially that last one down the line was an excellent shot to win the previous game.
Jim, Sonny, as Jim and I have been talking about, Ajabadi is very cunning. You think he's not going to put away a point because he's so nonchalant, and all of a sudden he puts away a winning backhand down the line.
Exactly. I found that out from personal experience, having played him on clay courts about a month ago. He's just so smooth out there.
And Tempest questioned that call for a second, Jim.
Another close call. That's a difficult one for the chair umpire to intervene because it's on the far sideline. And in that case, you're going to have to go with the player's call. As we said before, gentlemen's game. The code under which tennis players play requires you, when in doubt, you give your opponent the benefit of the doubt.
Does that always work, though, Jim?
It doesn't always work. It's possible that when a player's running and they don't get a good look at the ball, that they make an incorrect call. But I think for the most part you'll find that tennis players are very honest and will give the point instead of taking the point away.
That shot is out. Makes the score deuce, 4-2 in favor of Ajabadi. And this is a big game right here for Mark Tepps, Sonny.
This is a big game here. If Tepps can hold, he'll only be down 4-3, and perhaps he can put some pressure on Ajabadi's serve. But if he loses his serve here, the first set's all but over.
Very patient game so far, and the wind's playing a factor. Nice drive shot, and a big point right there by the graduating senior from Lafayette.
Well, that's kind of a risky shot, but that's pretty much all he could do on that position in the court. On the bottom of your screen, that's the upwind side, and sometimes it's tough to win games from over there because the ball feels like it's coming at you a lot faster.
Add in. Jim, and you've seen Mark, he's really grown a lot the last couple of years too.
Sure has. Another first serve missed by Mark, however. Let's see what he does with the second one.
That's out. Big win for Mark Tepps.
Mark using the serve and volley tactic. In this case, he didn't have to make the volley because he forced Murray's return wide.
So it makes it 4-3 in favor of Ajabadi. One before.
Okay, Mark's drop shot. Murray going. No.
Not enough juice. Really helps the player, Sonny, out here to have the ball boys and ball girls for this match. As you see some of the fans.
Well, that's great. When we play local tournaments, we're always running around, sometimes a couple courts down to pick up the ball, but now these kids get a chance to come out here and be part of a really exciting event. The only thing that's that may disconcert the players is a little bit is that you use that time the time you use to retrieve the ball, you use to compose yourself. And if someone's throwing it at you, you don't have that time.
Right.
Well, you'll notice that the chair umpire is, I don't think she's had to actually call time to enforce the 25 seconds between points, but in tennis in a match of this nature, the server has 25 seconds to get the ball in play between the time the previous point ends, and then it's 25 seconds till the next point must start. And you may take that full amount of time if you like. The receiver, on the other hand, must play to the server's reasonable pace.
Ajabadi, the first serve, and Teppas with a winning forehand down the line, showing his strength. Ajabadi leading the first set 4-3.
That's a great shot. Best I've seen him hit all day. He's got the wind at his back now, and he's on the top end of the court. This is a good chance for Mark to attack.
Right down the line, backhand. And Sonny mentioned it. We're going to have Jake Wilson, Sonny, join us just for a minute, and you'll be back in the second set. Make it love 30 right now. We're joined now by the tournament director of this this tournament, Huntington Park. And Jake, welcome to the Tennis Center.
Thank you. You're too kind, Greg.
Okay.
He's welcomed us to the tennis center many times.
Many times over the years. Well, it's great to have this caliber of tennis here at Huntington Park, and we're really excited to have this be such a special occasion.
Tell us a little bit about the rest of the tournament, would you, Jake? We're showcasing the Open Singles Final here, but I know there's some other divisions. Perhaps you can highlight that a little bit for us.
Well, we have a real exciting junior vet tournament with
1540.
Frank Holmes and Pete Kelson in the final. We're real excited by the junior vet tournament because it seems that a lot of the players that had kind of disappeared from the game for a couple of years are coming back in the 35s and really having a good run of it and enjoying the tennis. And you know, us old guys, the tennis is a little slower and a little more enjoyable sometimes for the spectators. So.
Well, I've heard a rumor that a fellow by the name of Jake Wilson may be joining that 35 and over group in a couple of years or so.
I'm looking forward to it, Jim. Looking forward to it. I tell you, I can't do anything with these young guys anymore. I think it's time for me to move on to the 35 group.
All right, it's 30-40.
30-40 here for Ajibade. Let's watch this break point.
Big point right here, Jake. He's up 4 games
important.
to 3.
4-3.
And it's all of a sudden even, so Tepa's coming back from down 3 games to 1, making it 4-all, Jake, and you're seeing what a great final this really is turning out to be.
This is a fantastic final. Mark's had a great tournament and winning his semi and was really excited about playing this final before going off to college. So I think it's nice to leave home on a high note after
Sure is.
going off to college.
And great matches. Both these guys had easy semifinal matches, and you wouldn't think they would be.
Surprisingly easy, but they're playing well and confidently, and makes for great tennis.
4 games all. We've got a new match, the first set of the best 2 out of 3 sets final of the Newport News Open, Huntington Park Tennis Center, beautiful Newport News.
While we're watching the action and in between points, Jake, maybe you can tell us a little bit about the Achievable Dream program. I know that you're decked out in the Achievable Dream 1994 colors.
Yeah, I often find myself in my Achievable Dream attire. Actually, Achievable Dream is really one of the most exciting things, I think, to hit Newport News in a long time.
4 games all. 15 all. See some of the fans in the stands right there. Dee Fertitta, the head tennis coach at Bethel. Jim, you're the head tennis coach at Ferguson. Jake has been the head tennis coach at Denby. He's now the principal at Dunbar, and I had a chance to go there at Dunbar, and that school is really moving in the right direction, Jake.
Oh yeah, we're really excited about that.
You see Murray Ajibade right there from Hampton University. 4 all, 15 all.
Mark Tepps using serve and volley tactics again to his great advantage. I had started charting the match here and somehow I got away from it, but that's helped him out a lot.
Tepes was 65-4 in 4 years of singles at Lafayette High School.
It's pretty impressive.
70-5 in doubles. As a freshman, he and his partner defeated Jay Goldstein and Matt David. When Tepes was a freshman, you could see the talent coming in right there, Jake.
Well, he was, I know he was talking to me earlier today, and he was saying that he wanted to be aggressive today, so it seems like with that serve and volley, he's able to really do that.
Yeah, as Sonny mentioned before, he needs to be patient, but he also has to mix in that element of risk because he's playing against a very patient player as well.
Jake, not used to seeing ball boys and ball girls in the chair umpire at a Grand Prix tournament.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, beautiful weather.
It is. It gives a whole new flavor to the tournament. And the players really appreciate it. They were really, really happy about this whole situation today.
Well, we have a minute and a half between games here. Why don't you continue with Achievable Dream a little bit more?
Okay, Achievable Dream is really the most exciting school business partnership that's taking place in Newport News and throughout the business partnerships that have been going on. And one of the neat things about it is it's directly targeting children that have success potential but may not reach their goals because of other factors in their lives. And one of the things that we're looking at is magnet school next year at Dunbar, and I've been very lucky to be going there as principal of that program. And we're going to offer some unique and different curricula kinds of things, an extended school day and tennis for the kids in the middle of their day and more math and nice computer labs, and really give them a lot to prepare them for what we want to think of as the world of work.
Well, you're obviously an excellent choice as the principal for that school, Jake, and I know from being involved with the tennis for the first year, and then my daughter being involved as a tennis coach assistant this year, that it's a very worthwhile program, and the great results have been seen already.
We're getting good results. We're real pleased.
All right, we're at Huntington Park Tennis Center. Greg Bicaveras, Jim Bodensick, and the principal of Dunbar-Irwin, Jake Wilson, with us in the broadcast booth. It's 5-4, and Tempest has got the lead. And Jake, we've got a great
got
first
a match
set.
on our
We've got
hands
a match.
here.
That's
we
right.
really do.
The young warrior versus the old veteran.
Yeah, Murray serving 4-5. Oh, he's on serve.
15 love.
First service winner for 15 love.
There's Ajabadi, native from Africa. One of Dr. Screen's great tennis players over the years at HU, Jake.
Well, Murray makes the game seem so easy sometimes. He really does make it.
We commented on that before, Jake, how effortless he does it. You know, when you see me play, it takes every bit of effort for me to get the ball over the net, and there old Murray's just
kind of floats along. It's his shot.
He looks beautiful.
You see one of our sponsors, Henry and Eric Hecker, audiologists. Jake, 17 businesses help put this tennis match on TV.
That's fantastic. That's it. I think the business community in Newport News, Hampton area is really coming around and working with all aspects of the community, and that's great. That's what it's all about, all of us working together.
Right. We're seeing that, you know, putting the kids first and the achievable dream and to getting the business and the school community together, and it's really just, we see the Wimbledon, we see the French Open, and I thought, why not let's put a local match
That's
on
right.
TV? You know?
We have good tennis in the area.
It's
a lot of
showing
good players.
5-4. Tepes has the lead. Ground stroking right now. You see how they're bringing the racket back? Are they doing the right steps as far as following through, Jake?
Well, everything looks good to me, Greg. I mean, they both have excellent strokes. I would say Mark's probably a little more of a baseliner, but Murray may be a little more all-around game. But they have good contrasting styles. Always makes for an exciting match.
5-5. Another service winner for Murray. He seems to be mastering changing speeds on that serve, but keeping Mark a little bit off
balance, maybe.
Off balance, yeah. These good players, if you give them the same thing 2 or 3 times in a row, they're going to be sitting on you next time.
That's right.
And if you can vary it around, it just adds one more variable to deal with besides the sun, the wind, and the excitement of being on television in a final match.
5-all. Started off with Tepes getting the first win and Ajbadi the next 2. It's been even ever since. And it seems like Tepes is getting stronger as the match goes on. You can see it in his serve.
He's strong first serve from Mark there.
Strong.
Jake, how has tennis changed since you were playing at Hampton High School under Albus Mann?
Well, I think the one big change that I see, and I think from the local high school level on up to the pro level, is the speed of the game and the equipment. It just makes a tremendous difference. And for those of us who grew up with the wooden rackets, all this new equipment is kind of difficult to master.
Yeah.
So it's a real experience trying to just to play the game now. But the kids are stronger and bigger and younger, and
everything, huh?
It's tough.
Well, the equipment has changed the game and makes it a lot easier for what you would call the club or recreational player to generate power on their strokes. But these young players, they know how to use technique to generate the power on their own. I think we found that some very few professional players are using big wide body rackets because they just don't need that much power.
5-all still. And we're taking a break right now to see one of our sponsors, Proteus Foundation, as Tepes will have a 6-5 lead in the first set. And we could possibly see a tiebreaker. And I guess when you think about it, they both had pretty easy semifinal matches, so they were well rested before this match.
Oh, yeah. At this level, even if the semifinal had been 3 sets, I think it really wouldn't have perfected them an awful lot with the amount of rest and the timing that we try to give them. So we try to look out for them.
Why don't you tell our spectators, Jake, how easy it is to run a tennis tournament when you have about 8 different tournaments going on and rain and everything else? You handle it so well.
Well, I try to be a people person. I enjoy working with people, and I think one of the things you have to have is a little flexibility within the rules. So, we try to do it the right way, but yet try to meet people's needs. I think that the biggest thing I ask for from the players is to let me know your needs up front, so that as I make my plans, I can try to work with you. And if I can't, then I'll let you know. But it's a joy to get to run tournaments, and in some ways, for me, I can be a part of tennis even when I can't play.
That's right. People don't seem to realize that, of course, I was joking there by saying it was easy, because it's a very difficult job to get everything coordinated. Okay, Murray serving to stay in the match in the first set.
Okay. And it's 6-5. Mark Tepes, big serve here for Ajabadi. 25 years old, and 25 years old is not old to be playing tennis.
Oh, no, not at all. It'll be real interesting to see if the experience that Murray has will come through in any aspects of the match as the match gets tighter and closer.
No, what we saw there was Mark tried to go for too much on a service return, and he paid the price by making an error on the serve.
Very impressed by the camera work here. Scotty Bowers, director, and Beverly Penn, Bianca, Jerome, and all the great camera people doing a super job. They do it all the time for the football season, for Channel 5 in Hampton. Looks like this tennis match looks like a Wimbledon here. The view is excellent for the spectators watching it on TV.
Hey, you can't say enough about the facility here and the people that we're working with. I've been fortunate enough to be able to work with Jake and the other Huntington Park folks for a number of years now in open tournaments as well as the year-end Masters competition, and the facility is always in nice shape. The weather is always perfect. Well, maybe not, but
today it is.
We try hard.
That's not for lack of trying. And the players like the facility because it's very player-friendly. Well, also a good place for spectators to come out and watch.
All right, let's stick with the nice match out here. Nice forehand there by Mark Tepes. And you're seeing the strength and the power that he has.
15-40, Mark taking a chance, and now he's putting Murray down 2 set points.
It's great seeing these guys like Mark as they grow up in the area, and you get to see them as little 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds, and then here he is going off to college and playing at this level, and it just says a lot for what the community has done as far as working with our youngsters.
Well, I know Murray has been involved in tennis with the young people in the area, too. I seem to recall seeing him volunteering with Achievable Dream.
Oh, yeah,
and,
he has.
He's also worked with a number of junior players in the area, including the Bethel High School players.
Great.
Nice shot there by Mark Tepes.
Take that first set.
First set, Tepes, 7-5.
Win 7-5 in the first set.
The fans enjoy it.
Could we see a 3-set match? And this is where the young fresh legs do mean something in the heat in August, Jake.
Well, as I was saying, it really will be interesting now to see how you deal with that, with an older player that has a little bit of wisdom. How do you deal with those young fresh legs?
About Ajabadi, an interesting story with him. He will be 25 November 24th, represented Nigeria in international tennis at the age of 16, attended HU, All-American in 88, 89, and 90. Nice put away by Mark Tepes.
Serve volley tactics again. I guess my pre-match introduction didn't work out too well when I said Mark would stay back most of the time. He's done most of the damage coming in selectively to the net, and if I had been tracking his percentage at the net, I would say he's probably about winning 80% of the points in which he comes into the net. Service ace for Mark, 30-love.
30-love. First game of the second set, Tepes win it 7-5.
Well, as I said a little earlier in talking to him earlier today, Mark said he wanted to be more aggressive, felt like he needed to be, and going toward college tennis, he needs to gain confidence in that serve and volley game. So I think he's shown us he has the right stuff to do that.
Yes, he does. He got the height, the strength, and the experience. Ajabadi was a member of Nigeria's Davis Cup in 87, 88, and 89, so he's playing, in fact, a world-class player.
Right.
Yaya Doumbia went to HU, and he played in the tournament in Lyon and won it back in the early 80s, so HU's had the great players.
Oh, yeah. They've had a history of great tennis players.
I played one once, Roselle Lightfoot. Remember him?
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, I played him at center court. See some of our great sponsors and underwriters. Jake, you've had a chance to go to a lot of these places like Steve Steak and Seafood House.
I enjoy eating out quite a bit, Greg.
You got a new addition to your family, too.
That's a little girl named Alexandra, and she's a joy.
She sleeps all night already, huh?
Wish she was, Jim. She likes to get up about 2 o'clock and about 5 o'clock and have that bottle. So Dad's not getting too much sleep right now, but it'll get better.
We're all here. Jake Wilson, Greg Picaveras, Jim Bodensick. First ever tennis match on TV on the peninsula. Channel 5 in Hampton and Channel 6 in Newport News. Second set. Tepes serving.
Just
40-30.
Just inside the baseline, Mark. I think he thought the ball was going to go out. I believe the wind caught it a little bit, kept it down in the court.
That's one of our unique features here at Huntington Park. We have the beautiful James River close at hand, and you always assure a nice breeze.
And you got the wind screens around the court. Those are, what is the wind screen for? I guess just obviously just to protect the wind.
It breaks the wind a little bit, so you may get a little bit, but it's not quite so strong.
I think you find on a day like today that players are appreciative of that breeze.
Oh, yeah.
And they're willing to put up with a little annoyance.
Okay, Jake. Thanks a lot. We're going to be talking to Brian Hogg, and
Thank you, Greg.
Tournament Director of Huntington Park. Thank you.
Appreciate all of your efforts. Thank you.
Okay, we'll talk to you later, Jake. Catch our breath here for a second, Jim. 7-5 first set. And Tepes won the first game, and he's showing that this kid is for real. He's a fighter, and those junior national tournaments, MATA tournaments, have really paid off.
Yeah, he's
not afraid of nobody.
Yeah, after being down a service break that first set, he came back and broke to bring the score to 4-all, and then he broke and held to serve out the first set. Mark taking a little water break there. That really helps to dump a little cold water on the back of the neck. If you're real hot out there, that's a tip for anybody out there playing. Just put a little cold water on the back of your neck, perhaps a cool cloth that you could dunk in the water, and of course consume plenty of fluids.
How about pro tennis, Jim? You've seen the kid Goldstein from Rockville, Maryland. His first name eludes me for some reason. Paul Goldstein, right? Mm-hmm. He played Jimmy Chow, who was in this tournament in the semifinals, who lost to Tepes 6-2, 6-2 4 years ago. And he went on to play in the U.S. Open last year. What are the chances for a Mark Tepes or a Kip Lehman to make the pros one day? Is that too far off?
Well, it's very tough nowadays. There's so many different levels of tennis. I've been involved with it a little more on the women's level, working the last couple of weeks in a couple of $10,000 prize money tournaments. And you'll find players number 300 to 500 in the world. And as you're officiating, watching the tennis, seeing the speed of the ball, you think, wow, this is fantastic. And then you realize that number 50 in the world is going to beat these girls 6-1, 6-1. I think it may be even tougher in the men's side because
that was good.
Not sure if the ball was in or out.
And you see that was good. 7-15 all, 7-5. Tepes won the first set. He's up 1-0 in the second. He's got just blistering ground strokes. Excellent net player. He's got a great package. And Jim, yourself, 5 years ago, you won the national doubles for your age group, I believe it was, in Hilton Head.
Well, we were involved in USTA team tennis. I was a part of a team at a 4.0 ability level that was fortunate enough to go to the nationals and win. There have been a number of teams on the peninsula and in the Hampton Roads area that have gone to these national tournaments and competed regionally and locally. And it's a great way, the rated tennis, to involve all levels of players in tennis. I know I never would have been able to do anything like that as an age group ability, but when it was broke down to ability level, then I knew I was playing with players of my similar ability. Blistering forehand from Mark.
Great ground stroke tennis.
Then they settle into a baseline rally.
Excellent. Out.
Game Ajabati calls Gene Smith, the chair umpire. It's 1-all, second set.
7-5. Mark Tepes wins the first set. Beautiful weather for tennis. And Jim, this is exactly what it's all about. We did the radio show back in 1991 on WYCS. 92 we did it on WMBG in Williamsburg. 94 this year. We did it on WTJZ, AM 1270 back in May. And we've been trying to promote tennis on radio and TV with Jim and I's efforts, and we're starting to see it pay off. That's for sure, folks.
As we said before, it's great to have the involvement of the local businesses and organizations that you've lined up to sponsor this event. And it means a lot because tennis needs the support. We find from the tournament tennis level that there are over 500 different players every year that compete in tennis tournaments on the peninsula, just in the organized Nomad Grand Prix portion. This doesn't say anything about the various clubs and organizations that hold tournaments and people participate. So there are all kinds of different things that people can do in tennis to be able to participate, whether it's teams, leagues, just going out playing with your friend. Another serve and volley point from Mark.
I am very impressed by not only Ajabadi but Mark Tepps. Ajabadi, the cool, confident player, and Tepps holding his maturity and showing how mature of a young man he is out here playing in a seasoned world-class player like Murray Ajabadi. And a couple of years ago he was playing those tournaments and he's beaten the players like Jimmy Chow and those guys very easily now. He's really surpassed to another level. That was deep.
Big serve from Mark. Ball's just out on the baseline.
One game all of the second set. Tepps is serving.
You can tell just by the way Mark is approaching the service line. He's a lot more confident now. He's getting more first serves in, such as that one, just inside the service line.
And Ajabadi is playing more of the baseline, and Tepps is mixing it up a lot, and I think that has something to do with his advantage right now. I've noticed that Ajabadi's just kind of like hug the baseline, Jim.
That's right. Mark is taking more chances, and at the moment it's paying off for him.
He's serving with the headband on, graduated from Lafayette High School. And that's the game. It's 2-1.
Mark holding his serve pretty easily as a result of, if we look back to Sonny Durst's analysis, when he started talking to us in the middle of the first set, Mark was not.
All right, so we're going to take a break, Jim, and we'll be back right after this. And welcome back to Huntington Park Tennis Center. 7-5, Mark Tepps won the first set.
We're going to see the last point that Mark served. He's serving 1-all, 40-15. Good serve.
And that was wide.
Mark calls out. Chair umpire agrees. It's 2-1 Tepps.
Second set. In just a moment, we'll be talking to Brian Hogg. And I tell you, folks, Mark Tepps is really putting on a show today. And Brian, 1985 graduate from Gloucester High School in Gloucester, and now living in Newport News, the director of tennis at Killen Creek. Thanks for joining us here today and for helping make part of this match possible with the ball boys and ball girls.
Glad to be here, Vic.
Thank you, Brian. You've really seen Mark Tepps really improve, another product of Brent Hughes, really go to another level.
Very much so.
We're going to have Brian commentate on the play from now on. I'm going to be quiet for a while. So pick it up, Brian.
What are the keys, Brian, for Tepps to beat Ajabadi right now? He's got a comfortable advantage right now, 7-5 and
I think
2-1.
He needs to keep doing exactly what he's been doing.
What would you do against Ajabadi?
Exactly. I try to do exactly what Mark's doing right now. He's forcing play, keeping his shots deep, a lot of pace. His first serve percentage is way up there. It's got to be. He's playing outstanding.
You've been in a lot of these 3-set matches over the years, Brian. He's showing his maturity out here, too.
He really is. I haven't seen Mark play probably in over a year, and he's a totally different player today.
That's possibly a result of some of the national, and last year I saw him at an international tournament in College Park, Maryland. All of these kinds of things that these young players go through just add up one on top of the other, and
it sure does.
With some good instruction, of course, that's available in the area.
Exactly right.
They can turn into the excellent players that we're seeing right now in front of us.
2 games all. Second set. Tepps won the first set 7-5. Playing against guys like Kip Lehman. And before, Mark was just on the surface of competing against these guys 3 and 4 years ago. Now he's taking his game to another level. He's gotten bigger, stronger, more mature. And his ground strokes and volley game are just are unbelievable. He's really improved.
Yeah, you said more mature. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. But you got to be a little cocky when you say, Brian, to play tennis?
Sure.
Don't you have to be?
Certainly. But now he looks like an adult out there now.
Right.
Before, I don't think he did. Just in a couple of years.
He was, a great baseliner. Now he's improved it all.
Yeah, very, very good off-court game.
He had an inkling to come in on that ball, but he didn't.
Probably should have.
Yep.
Some of our sponsors: Steve Steakhouse and Seafood, Water and Health, Selective Singles, Ditto's Refreshment Stand, hair razors. You see right there. Get a haircut by them, Brian. $595-$1690. Putting this tennis match on TV. You see the fans. The fans have really come out. We're really proud of the great crowd out here today.
Yeah, good turnout.
Okay, shot was wide.
Just missed.
Brian, what do you think of the pro scene? You see Pete Sampras really dominating it, and no one seems to be really close to him. Is it going to be like this for another 5-10 years, you think?
5 or 10? I don't know about 5 or 10, but at least for a couple.
Mm-hmm. He's only 22. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Gone are the days we won't see Jimmy Connors in this year's U.S. Open.
No, it makes me feel that much older too.
Oh man, I tell you, believe it or not, he'll be 42 coming up on Labor Day.
That's right.
And he was just playing in the U.S. Open 2 years ago.
Another double fault sneaking in on Mark there.
You played at Virginia Tech, Brian. How would Mark do in the Division I level?
Very well. No matter where he went, he's going to UTC, correct?
Right.
That's an outstanding school. We played them 1 year when I was at Tech, and they've got a strong team.
Mm-hmm.
Great serve there.
We're all at Huntington Park. You see some of the fans in the stands. Greg Picaveras, Jim Bodensick, and Brian Hogg with you on Peninsula Cable, Warner Cable, and Newport News. Women's tennis, mixed doubles, singles, all part of the Grand Prix group, which Jim Bodensick's run since 1991. Ferguson High School tennis coach. 2 games all. Nice serve.
Mark battling back from love 40 to 30-40. Got one more point here to try to get even.
Beautiful day for tennis. I was really concerned about the weather. But you see the PTPA there, Jim, an organization we're all familiar with.
We mentioned the ball kids are all participants in the USTA PTPA junior team tennis, of which Brian Hogg is their coach.
I'm very
mentor.
proud of him.
It's different, Brian, being a coach and then going out and playing these tournaments. I know a lot of those guys in Richmond, friends of yours at Butterworth, and they play in a lot of tournaments, but once they're out there 6 or 7 hours, it's different from playing a match.
It sure is.
What's the biggest dilemma, you think?
Basically finding the time to play.
Right.
We had hoped that Brian would be able to participate in this tournament this weekend. Of course, for those of you who do not know, he is of the same level as the 4 seeded players in this tournament, but unable to because of his commitments at the club.
Excellent, Bob.
And a little afraid of my competition.
I don't know about that. I think they would have been afraid of you.
I wish I could have played. This is a great event.
It really is turning out to be excellent.
Really is.
You look at it, if this match does go into 3 sets, which it very well could, you look at the experience from Ajabadi, and Tepes has got his experience as well, but the fresh legs, and you wonder, because both of them had pretty easy semifinals.
Advantage Ajabadi.
And it's deuce.
Goes for the topspin down the line shot that won him the game previously in this first set, but he was not able to deliver.
Hampton Tennis Center, Huntington Park, Back Creek Park are some of the places they play these Grand Prix tournaments. Killen Creek, Williamsburg, Langley. And we're at Huntington Park on this gorgeous August afternoon.
As we mentioned before, maybe we can talk a little bit on the changeover about the culmination of the year with the Masters tournament. This is the final tournament of the year leading up to that Masters.
Adelt. 2 games all second sets. Brian, when's the last time you played the Masters?
It was 2 years ago here, actually.
Right.
As I recall, Brian was our Masters champion that year.
I lucked out and won that year.
I believe it or not, I actually played in that Masters. To show you how times have changed.
That's right.
Right.
And if memory serves, this one of the players out here playing is one you played in the final match.
Played Teps twice. We played in the round robin and, of course, in the final as well.
How'd it go, Brian, the scores?
It went well for me, actually. I was playing pretty well at that time, and like we said earlier, Mark was a little younger then and less experienced, so he took it easy on me that weekend.
Yeah. And Ajabadi has a 3-2 lead in the second set. And Brian, I want to thank you for joining us here in the booth.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
And we'll look forward to seeing you again and the excellent work you do at Killing Creek.
Enjoyed it. Thanks a lot.
Thanks again, too, for providing these excellent ball kids.
Well, like I said, I'm very proud of the team.
They're working hard out there.
They are.
Brian, from the weather on, it's turned out to be a really good day.
Yes.
Well, that means a lot in tennis.
It sure does.
Thanks a lot, Brian. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Jim, we've got quite a match here, 3-2. Just kind of like what we wanted. 7-5, Mark Teps wins the first set. And these tournaments start in April, go through August, and like you said, the Masters is coming up.
Yeah, the Masters is a combination of a year-long series of tournaments where players gather points based on their finish in each tournament. At the end of the year, the top 8 players are offered the opportunity to play in a round-robin tournament. Out of the round-robin come 4 semifinalists who then play down to a finals, and one is crowned a Masters champion. We're looking at the last point, and we're going to see Mark hitting a drop shot. Murray covers. Another drop, and Murray puts it away.
And you see, just
that's the break.
Nonchalant and a little fatigue probably there on Tepes' part, hitting it right back to him. But we've got quite a match here, folks. They play the best 2 out of 3 sets. Jim, this could go another hour easily.
That's fine. We wanted a good match for this final.
No, we've got it.
Another one of our sponsors, Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine Specialists of Hampton Roads, 596-1900.
We know them very well. They specialize in...
Dr. Trishman, an excellent tennis player, very supportive of the tennis community.
They do MRI on site. 3-2 Ajabadi. He's from HU. Nice lob.
Former HU player coming in a little on his own, taking a page out of Mark Teps' book.
We've already had Sonny Dirth on here and Brian Hogg and Jake Wilson. We'll be talking to some more guests as the match goes on. I'm Greg Picaveras, along with Jim Bodensick. Done several radio specials with you, and glad to be with you on TV.
Yeah, this has been super fun for me already, Greg. I just appreciate being able to be involved in it.
Thanks a lot, Jim. Good friend, and that's what it's all about, tennis and camaraderie. Can't ask for much more on a summer afternoon.
That's it. Greg and my son, Greg, former doubles partners at Ferguson High School back a few years.
Mm-hmm. We're both in our 20s. We can still say that. We won't get into your age.
You're not old like me.
No, you're not old, Jim. And that goes to Ajabadi. He's up 4-2, and this is where it was kind of like the first set.
Yeah, the match seemed to have swung a little bit, though. It looks like Mark is a little bit tired out there. He's going to have to step up and say, hey, I'm here, Murray, because otherwise Murray's experience could take over a little bit. Mark serving at 2-4. First service fault. Looking up at the sun may have changed position a little bit in the sky as the day goes on. Requires the server to change her toss a little bit, make an adjustment.
Great ground stroke tennis. Tepes talking a little bit to himself, and you see a lot of these young juniors out here, and Mark has really surpassed all the guys his age group and even some college players.
Yeah, Mark is a good example for other players to aspire to do what he has done. Starts out playing junior tennis, and he's advanced to a very high level of play, age group tennis, but he still played for his high school team this year, which you give him a lot of credit for that.
Started playing tennis, Jim, at 5 years of age. Got into coaching about 10 years at Kingsmill, coached by Brent Hughes. Father from Yugoslavia.
I'm sure Conrad has helped Mark along as well in his tennis career. Conrad just had a little surgery lately, and
my good friend and ex-tennis coach at Ferguson High School has just joined us in the booth, Marvin Hedgepath, the man himself. Nice to see you again, Marvin. You just got back from Florida, I believe, didn't you?
Yeah, I've been down in Florida doing being an academic instead of a jock.
What did you do down in Florida?
Just participated in a 3-week oceanography institute down at University of Miami, and really didn't get a chance to play any serious tennis at all during July.
Let's take a look at this point. We'll talk to Marvin in just a minute. Could go into 3 sets here, Hedge.
We've been pondering who that might favor.
2 games to 4, and Tepes double faulting a little bit, but he's got the strength and conditioning. Marvin Hedgepath with us. He's the head tennis coach at Menchville, formerly at Ferguson, and he coached me from 83 to 85, and Jim next to him is now the present tennis coach at Ferguson.
well, Marvin was the coach when a couple of years when my son was coming through, and Greg Bicaveras, and now we're friendly rivals.
That's right. Very friendly rivals. Very friendly rivals. Let me have you guys ponder. Who do you think is going to handle the heat better if it does go to 3?
It's hard to say. You got to. Ajabadi's plays. It doesn't change his game as the match goes on. Very cool, calm, and collective. So you think it would favor him because he just doesn't get excited. He just stays cool the entire match.
I agree, and he his strokes are much more compact. He doesn't seem to expend nearly the energy that Mark's putting out. Looks to be in terrific shape, even though he's much older.
Right now, it's 5 games to 2, second set, Marvin. Tepes won the first set 7-5, and
right.
He was down. And you've been down sets before, and you come back in this. Is it possible still for Ajabadi to win this match?
Oh, sure it is. Both players, I think, are going to battle the heat as much as they're battling each other. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a real big factor in the third set. Right now, looks like Ajabadi might be handling it a little better.
He's eating a banana right now, and that protein does help you out, huh, Marvin?
Getting that potassium.
Yeah.
Returned.
You've been doing some fishing this summer, and Wanda is getting ready to, your beautiful wife is ready to expect a kid.
Yeah, we're about to have our third.
Wow.
Keeps me out of competitive tennis for a while.
And of course, you've seen Tepes for 4 years when you were the coach at Menchville. You saw him play your stalwart, Kip Lehman, the first 2 years. He's really improved, hasn't he, Marvin, over the...
He's improved tremendously, and I think he'll be quite successful at the Division I college level.
Marvin's never shy for words. How would you compare him? He's already beaten Jimmy 6-2, 6-2. I'm going to say some names, and you're going to give me your frank opinion. Who's better? In tennis, that's what it is. Holden Knight.
I think Mark's more versatile than Holden. Both very good players, obviously.
He's doing it right now. He's down 5-2 in the second.
Just plays more of an all-around game.
Referring to Holden Knight, one of the semifinalists in this tournament who lost to Murray Ajabadi in a 2-set match. Holden currently the coach of the Bruton High School girls tennis team for the first year this past year. It's amazing how all the tennis players seem to like to stay in tennis, a little coaching and continue to play tournaments. That just shows you that there's something for everybody involved. How about competitive tennis for you, Marvin? I know you're coming back from a knee injury, that you've had some surgery, and you've been a little 3-week break down there in Florida, but you're going to be back competitively there?
I'm going to be back competitively. My knees right now are fine. I've got some very pressing family commitments with the little new one on the way here. It's too bad this tournament season's almost over, but I've been hitting the ball pretty well lately, in fact. But I've been teaching mostly.
Marvin, you've seen some of our businesses that have helped sponsor this tennis match. 17 businesses have helped. And when I told you about it back in the spring, you kind of like said, well, good luck. But you never doubted me, did you?
It sounded like a pipe dream, but I knew if anybody could pull it off, you could pull it off.
Yeah, we're here talking about it today.
And congratulations for doing so. This is really good feeling being here today, and being a part of what's actually local tennis history here. And hopefully we can have some more matches televised and bring aboard some new sponsors.
So it's a great final too, to have a match on TV. This is what Jim and I were talking about, who would be in the finals potentially. We would never know. And we're seeing an excellent tennis here. 30-40. See, you see what I'm saying, Marvin? Ajibade under Dr. Screen has kept cool, kept calm, and you can see that he's not getting flustered at all.
No, I think he's his level of play is not going to fluctuate. Mark's level is obviously fluctuating. He hits series of great winners, and then he'll make a series of unforced errors in a row. And forward to see the third set. You don't know which Mark is going to show up for a third set if we have a third set.
Absolutely. They're going to have a time to break and refresh themselves a little bit. Jim?
Murray getting back from 30-40. He's back to deuce. Had a little trouble serving out this second set. Mark is standing tough here.
He seems like he's tightening up a little bit. You're right, Jim. Beautiful weather here on the James River.
Real close on the baseline. Murray just plays through it. Nice shot.
Nice shot.
And that's what I'm talking about, the nonchalant ground strokes that Ajibade seems to be doing so well in.
What really impresses me is the way he can slice through 4 or 5 straight backhands in a row, and then if you apply a little pressure to him, he really comes over it well with topspin for the winners.
And you started serving volleying yourself when it wasn't really that popular 10, 15 years ago. And
I never had the knees to stay on the baseline and invite long ground stroke rallies. This ought to be it for the second set. Crunch.
I've blown points like that. Marvin, thanks a lot.
Well, thank you, Greg.
We'll see you soon. Good luck with your new kid.
Thank you.
Thanks, Marv.
Okay.
Second set to Ajibade. This is men's open tennis. As you know, there's no break between the second and third set.
As we wanted, Jim, from a TV audience viewing 3 sets, and God has been very good to us today.
Excellent. You'll notice that the chair umpire is coordinating a ball change for this final match. The players are using new balls at the first time every 9 games, and then...
Okay, we're taking a look at the last point, and Dr. McKinley Price will be joining in just a minute. And just an easy put away, Dr. Price, here by Murray Ajibade.
And Murray crunches it softly for a winner.
Yeah, well.
Welcome, McKinley.
Thank you. This third set's going to be good. This is a momentum swing here. We'll see what's going to happen.
Dr. Price, the former school board chairman for the City of Newport News.
Just got off the court and very tired himself. And I only had to cover half the court. I was playing doubles.
How'd that match turn out, McKinley?
We lost in 2 sets, lost the last set in a tiebreaker.
Ooh.
It was close.
Tough one. As we mentioned, there are other events going on. Junior vet singles and doubles, which is for players 35 years of age and older.
Which
also 2 rated events.
I was playing open. I should have stayed.
McKinley playing up, as they say, in the open division. And
in doubles, yeah.
Obviously doing very well in doubles.
We're in the third set. Mark Tepps from Lafayette High School graduated, won the first set 7-5. Murray Ajibade from HU won the second set 6-2. Tepps is serving.
McKinley, student of the game, so he's going to analyze the next couple of games for you.
Okay.
And Dr. Price, you've seen we've got 17 businesses helping us putting this match on TV, and as the former school board chairman, you see how integral it is to put the business and the schools working together.
No question. As a president now of the Newport News Education Foundation, I'm very pleased with the cooperation that we get from businesses. It's just amazing the amount that businesses see the need to help financially do these other programs that just can't be placed in the school budget. And it's really great that this city does that. It's great of you to be able to put on an event like this. This is fantastic.
It's really turning out well. A lot of spectators and fans and businesses and people like you, all part of this tennis scene.
Well, when you get the caliber of tennis like we're seeing now,
excellent,
people will come out. It's just a great match to watch. We could be watching something else on TV. It's really good.
Along with the sponsorship aspect, of course, McKinley, a lot of volunteer time goes into the pursuits that you're speaking of. You spent many volunteer hours in different endeavors in the City of Newport News.
Well, yes, I feel that I was basically helped raised by the community, and I think it's an obligation, professionals and people who are from here to give some time and money and energy back. And volunteering is an excellent way of doing that if you have a special skill or just some time. We have a great volunteer program in the Newport News Public Schools, a large contingency of people who really give time. If it's just reading to kids, they need to see people in the community.
And you mentioned one time in an interview how tennis gave you the confidence to go to college and self-esteem and morale, and you see the achievable dream, and this is a good example of people to people getting together, and this is what life is all about when you think about it.
No question. Tennis has meant a great deal to me. I was fortunate to be a scholarship player at Hampton University, Hampton Institute, then myself. But
what year was that, McKinley?
Oh, we won't mention that, but it was a few years ago.
You're 25, right?
At least, yes. I qualify for the junior vets.
That's good enough. I would answer the same if you asked me that question.
We're still in the first game of the third set.
They are playing well. The serve and volley and the movement, I don't know if people can appreciate the amount of heat that's out here courtside, having just left the court. And when it's windy, it's even more deceptive because you're losing a lot of water that you're unaware of.
Right.
So you're probably more susceptible to cramping with this, especially if you don't take your fluid intake, and I'm sure they are over there drinking as they should.
This beats the Jane Fonda workout, huh?
No question.
I tell you, it takes it's hotter on the court than it is from a spectator standpoint.
Oh, yes.
You can feel it. As Ajabadi won the first game of the third set.
Well, in some tournaments on television we've seen where I think the temperature on court can be as high as 20 degrees or more higher than the air temperature because of the heat radiating from the stored in that asphalt surface and radiating up through the feet, legs, etc.
Yes.
You can notice the play has slowed down a bit, although the chair umpire is continuing to watch to make sure that the players are playing within a minute and a half on the changeovers and 25 seconds between points.
Well, this is when it really becomes the strategic part of the game is very important because you need to have the efficiency of motion in playing. You don't have a lot of energy to waste, so every stroke is important. And you pick and choose what balls you're going to run for at this point.
Right.
Young players out there, young and old, can take a tip from that from Dr. Price because very, very well said. You may put a little more effort towards a point when your game point down than when you're ahead 40 love. You may be able to take a little break there and still get by with it.
Yeah, I think Pancho Gonzalez, guys my age, tend to follow him. You're down 40 love, you go for a winner, you know?
Right. We're at courtside at Huntington Park here in Newport News off the beautiful James River. Greg Bicaveras, Jim Bodensick, and Dr. McKinley Price, former school board chairman for the city of Newport News, as Tempest has a one-game love lead in the third set.
That was just a beautiful shot. Beautiful shot. It was a good approach Ajabadi did, but it was just a better shot coming back cross court from Tepes. Just excellent quality of play. Excellent.
Conditioning really means a lot, too, when it comes down to the third set. You see all these regimens and workouts and stuff, and eating the right food. You saw Ajabadi eating a banana. It means a lot. He's starting to come to the net a little bit more, too.
Well, if you can volley like that, that's where you should be.
He's come to that twice in a row. Once he got beaten only by an excellent passing shot, and he took complete control of that point, 15-all.
And we mentioned earlier Ajabadi, he played for the Davis Cup team in Nigeria, Dr. Price, in 87, 88, and 89, and he's 24 years old. So Tepes is playing a world-class player from Dr. Screen's program who's had so many great individuals at HU over the years.
Well, that's true, and the former players really help the program because as they go back out into the world, they send people that they find.
Right.
And so there's a great recruitment program there at Hampton U. I remember Roger DeSantis Geddes, who was there. He keeps in touch with Dr. Screen and sends some very good players.
Yaya Dubia.
Ken Porter.
Remember him?
Yeah.
Big kick serve for Murray to go up 30 love.
One game all, third set.
I've been amazed with Ajabadi's ability with the wrist that he has. And seeing an earlier match today, that he can do anything very deceptive with that wrist. You really can't anticipate what's going to come off the racket.
Very good point from an excellent tennis player who knows what he's talking about. Players taking a little bit more time there. You can almost tell they're in a third set because a little more deliberate.
You're allowed 25 seconds between points, I believe, technically.
25 seconds is
Right.
correct.
That's correct.
And they're using it. And who can blame them in this heat?
Yeah. Great serve there.
And this is,
Very risky serve.
we want to promote tennis and let the kids see it. And you stay in school, you do the right things, Dr. Price. You
No
get
question.
the right self-esteem, and you can do anything you want.
No question. There's some excellent programs here in Newport News. Of course, the Achievable Dream program now that's going on is really using tennis as a hook to get kids interested early, keep them off the streets and give them something to do, give them that discipline and competitive spirit, and yet learn how to win and lose in the proper way.
And work with kids and people and adults. Interaction. They play right here, too.
No question.
Yeah, right here at Huntington Park.
10 beautiful new courts placed across the street.
All of a sudden, things change around. Murray serving with Mark Tepp's advantage.
Yes,
Tepp's trying to go up to love in the final set.
Other than the second set when Ajabadi took control, it's been very evenly contested the entire match, and this is just an example of what it is. Tepa still has that one game to love lead. This will be a big game if he could break this game.
A little extra time here, very important point here, break point.
Add out. That's deuce.
Big kick serve and a great eye from
I'm telling
Murray.
you, I think I would have had to hit that one.
That ball was pretty close, but obviously out.
Jim, from a director's standpoint from tennis, you've seen the weather on the peninsula this year, clear like this during the day. 4 o'clock you go home, boom, the rain comes out. Has that been tough?
Well, it's funny, earlier in the year, I can't remember a tournament that had rain problems, but the last few weeks it's been
Great
tough.
point. Add out.
Add out a long call there.
That's what we have the chair umpire for. We have 3 cameras here. We have one station on top of the TV truck. The guy's got his umbrella there. Looks like Jerome. He's waving to us right there. That other camera right there at the middle of the court. Scotty Bauer is our director. Crystal Charity, Dr. Price, you know her. She's now with Hampton City Schools. She helped me. I work with her putting this together.
Oh, great. Yeah, we miss her in Newport News. We wish her well.
Super lady. Beverly Penn and Bianca in the truck.
Oh, just out.
Just deep.
out.
Just deep.
Deuce game.
8 ball boys and ball girls, 3 camera people. Great support staff here today at Huntington Park. Jake Wilson, the tournament director, we talked to him earlier. He's now the principal of Dunbar, which is, Dr. Price, a different type of situation this coming up school year.
Yeah, there at Huntington, this is a sort of an alternative school, a magnet school somewhat. The Achievable Dream will be stationed at a school, and that's another unique feature. It's a cooperation between the schools and Parks and Recreation and the business community. Walter Sigaloff has done a tremendous job with that, raising almost $500,000 a year to help support that program, and it's really growing. We're up to 300 kids now.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to some good things out of that school, and the test scores are looking good.
Big improvement.
Good. Yes.
Just finished their 3rd summer here at Huntington Park, and they give the kids a chance to go to different museums and educational places.
Excellent example of community help. Excellent example.
Right.
That last point won by a passing shot by Mark Tepps. He wrong-footed Murray. Murray's second serve, advantage Tepps. Looking for an all-important break in the 3rd set.
Oh, what a
drop shot. Oh,
Dropped him
excellent
back.
shot by
Excellent
Mark
shot.
Tepps. And
Advantage
Dr.
of youth.
Oh, man. And both these players make it look so easy.
You're right. You're right. Very quick of foot there to be able to get that and place it at an angle back cross court.
And
outstanding shot.
Mark seems like he's getting a second win, although you can see the fatigue. Ajabadi just steady. He's steady. You can never count this gentleman out. Let's take a look. Dr. Price, look at this last point here.
We see Tepes hits a high cross court. There's a drop, and he runs, and ooh, what an angle. What an angle. Just great footwork. Great movement.
2 games love, 3rd set. Tepes won the 1st set 7-5.
Oh, good. Short lob.
Murray seems a little tired, especially after losing that game. We have to watch closely because if Mark can
put this game away,
if Mark can be strong, it'd be difficult for Murray to pull a comeback.
15 love. Ajabadi won the second set 6-2, had control the first couple games of the first set, but it's been Tepes all in the third set so far. Good backhand slice.
Oh,
wow.
Is that good? Great. If that was a good shot, that was a great return.
And placement means a lot, doesn't it, Dr. Price?
No question. And with the spin that's being placed on the ball, the top spin, the ball will kick and hit, and it's just difficult. It makes you have an extra effort to get to the ball. And when it's deep and angled, you really have to put a lot more energy to get to it and put it back. Of course, that's the advantage of new equipment now that we have with the graphite rackets and the oversized rackets. The wooden racket is long gone.
Get a chance to talk about some of our businesses during the next break over.
Good high kicking serve, and he's just really stroking the ball.
God, excellent.
That was a little deep, yeah.
What do you like coming up in the U.S. Open, Dr. Price?
I don't know. I just Sampras, just his game. I just don't see any weaknesses.
Right.
And it doesn't appear to matter what surface he's on. You usually pick a player with his game type, but I think he's just a player to watch within the next 10 years. I just look forward to it.
22 years old. That's it. Big point.
I'd love to have his second, sir.
Oh man.
You can tell the maturity of the player taking time. Had a let first serve.
That sun's tough right now.
Two more
too.
opportunities.
Oh, he's getting a little cloud break here now.
Cool breeze feels good.
Still, double faulted.
30-all. You see some of our businesses there. Selective Singles, 249 Lila. They meet every Monday night at the Newport News Omni, who's also one of our underwriters tonight. Big point for Ajabadi. That's going to go deep.
Yes.
And if he takes a 3-0 lead with a break coming up, that's going to be a big deficit for anybody to come back from.
Big hole to climb out of. It really would. This late stage of the game, it really would be.
Also, Mark will be then on the what we would call the good side, favored by the wind, and the sun slightly at his back. A little tougher for the server, serving into the sun.
Deuce.
Good service return.
Service winner by Ajabadi.
It's deep.
Deep. Advantage. A lot of us were talking and watching Ajabadi's strokes, just the efficiency and the ease of his stroke. It's just so compact, so fluid. And very difficult to read because it's a wristy shot. So he can do three things from the same position. So it's very difficult to anticipate what's going to come off of his racket.
He doesn't do a lot of body movement, just uses those wrists like you said, and he just stays stationary when he hits the ball for the most part.
Excellent use of slice. Excellent use of slice. Look at that. Look at that ball stays down when you do that. There's the top spin.
Is that the
missed
key,
it.
Dr. Price, to keep the ball as low as you can?
No question, because when it hits like that, it not only stays low, which is harder to hit back over, but it increases in speed. So the ball comes into you faster with a slice. So that's the advantage of the slice. It's a good approach, and it's good. Your opponent has to stay low, which requires more energy.
Right. Hair razors, get a haircut today, 595-1690. One of our great people located right up by the old Kmart on Warwick Boulevard.
Deuce game fault first.
It's a hair-raising point of the match here because
it is.
It was good.
Murray Ajabadi's Ed.
And
Great point here.
He needs this game too.
He does. You don't want to get into that 3-love hole that we were talking about.
Then the mental starts wearing on your head.
No question.
I'm down 3-0. You start getting nervous sometimes.
I'm tired.
That's right. I think it's very important they have a chair umpire out here today in this heat fatigue.
Yeah.
Jim, thanks a lot for getting Gene Smith.
Gene worked with her for a number of years, and she and I help each other out. And I go over to Virginia Beach, and she comes to Newport News when I need some assistance.
a double fault there. It's a game. A little question on that first serve there, but it was
Very
a double
close
fault.
first serve.
Dr. Price, thanks a lot
Thank
for
you.
joining us,
Okay,
and
appreciate
good
it.
luck with your dentist practice in
Thank you
Newport
very
News.
much.
You've
Appreciate
been a big
that.
part of tennis.
Thank you. See you, Jim.
2-1. RJ's Restaurant and Sports Pub. Jim, right there on the Denby Crossing. Great crab cakes, chicken sandwiches, steaks, seafood.
Sounds good. We going there after the game?
Oh, yeah. See Mark Tepes and Murray Ajabadi. 7-5, Tepes won the first set. Here's a replay. Ajabadi won the second set 6-2 as the clouds start to come above Huntington Park. And now it's 2-1 Tepes as they're taking their full 90-second break.
Yeah, double fault by Mark to lose the game. He still holds a 2-1 advantage, but Murray Ajabadi's serving.
Great match we're seeing on Tennis, Jim. This is what we've wanted. We've talked about this on the radio for several years in different radio live specials, I might add. We did that first one back in 91, a 2.5-hour special on WYCS. And did you ever think when you started doing those tennis parties and you got involved that you actually be doing a live tennis match?
Absolutely not. I'm a total neophyte to this. You've introduced me to the media, and I think that it's been a very important way to help to promote tennis.
Ajabadi just took a break, a timeout break during the changeover to check, I think, his...
Now, the players are allowed a toilet visit during the match,
right,
and actually more than one if necessary. It's the discretion of the chair umpire as to whether it's a legitimate toilet break or if the player is suffering from a loss of condition. If the umpire feels that the player has lost condition and is looking for an additional break, they may decide not to allow the request for break.
Henry Hecker, the audiologist, Hearing Evaluation and Noise Protection Association, 874-4665. Go get a hearing checkup today. Mark's Deli. They cater large and small events. Washington Square Shopping Center. Salads, subs, meat platters, desserts, hot and cold. Smithfield Gardens. Flowers, daylilies, plants, right there in Smithfield, right across the James River Bridge. As Ajabadi comes back onto the court, you can see the sweat dripping from his court, and he's showing his fatigue. That could be a psychological thing, Jim, at this point of the match as well. Sonny Dirth will rejoin us back in the broadcast booth.
No, you have to remember that Murray is getting a little break, but so is Mark. Very calm, collected, sitting there in the shade, just taking advantage, not letting it bother him, and getting ready to go back out. Sonny, your analysis to this point?
Is that a psychological advantage? I mean, taking a mental break like that, Sonny?
That may be. Maybe you need to go to the bathroom or needed to get something taped or something like that. This match has had more twists and turns than a Patricia Cornwell mystery, so it remains to be seen.
It's been like a
come
mystery.
On now.
7-5, 2-6, Tepes up 2-1 with Ajabadi serving. They have used their breaks to their extent. It's kind of hard to say who's got the momentum right now because it's been pretty even the entire match.
Looked like Murray was having a lot of trouble late in the first set, early in the second, handling Mark's pace. But now I think it's head down to the wire.
It's going to be a
6-4, 7-5, or 7-6 probably.
How important was it for Murray to break back in that last game, Sonny?
That was huge because otherwise he'd be looking at an 0-3 deficit, and in this heat that lead's going to seem even bigger than it already is.
Superhuman effort by Murray, and Mark helped him out a little bit with a double fault.
15 love. Domino's Pizza also providing all this pizza, Jim, and Cinema Cafe and Sports Authority, and so many great businesses here helping promote this tennis match. Excellent pizza by Domino's. I know Sonny orders it a lot when he's working at the Daily Press. Sonny being a big pizza lover himself.
So it's one of the most nutritional junk foods there is.
Ramada Inn and Conference Center, Jim, one of the premier hotels in Newport News. Give Patricia Reed a call for your food and Chadwick's and catering, and if you want to stay there a night, you can stay there a night. She'd love it. Ramada Inn and Conference Center. College planning services. preparing those kids for the future. Out of Virginia Beach, 490-0845. Robert Williams is the director. What a spitting shot that was. Slice. That's good. 40 love, and we're 1 point away from an even match, Sonny.
No, that was a great shot by Murray right there. He hit that ball so low, it definitely tempted Mark Tepps to come in, but then Murray was really stuck the passing shot into the open corner.
40-15. And sometimes you see players tanking shots. It's not because they want to, but it's just the fatigue does play a role in.
You know, when you're down 40 love on the opponent's serve, or sometimes even 30 love by this stage, and it's probably, well, heck, it's definitely over 90 degrees on the court, maybe 100. You just don't feel like putting that much effort into a game you absolutely don't have to win.
Drop shot by Tepps. And not enough for Ajabadi. This is a presentation of WHCS and GJB Productions and Marketing at 595-2137, the full-service audio, radio, and television production for all your needs. 595-2137.
You saw Mark Tepps drop shot that last point. That's a clear attempt to shorten the point, and it worked.
Big point. And it's even. Sonny up 40 love.
Yeah, there was a lucky break by Mark Tepps. He went for a backhand down the line passing shot. It looked like Ajabadi was in good position for the volley, but it threw him off when the ball hit the net cord and jumped up on it.
Jim, this has to be one of the most exciting finals we've seen in a Grand Prix match on TV in a long time.
It's the best one I can remember in a while.
Tepps, coached by Brent Hughes, played in the Kalamazoo, Louisville, Kentucky, Philadelphia on grass courts. Father's Conrad Tepps.
Mark's had a lot of experience at the national level lately. He hasn't played that many tournaments this summer, but this will be a great tune-up before he goes to the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, and plays for my old friend, Coach Jim Thompson.
Yeah.
Because Jim will want to make sure he's in shape, and this match will help get him there.
2 drop shots. Oh, and a point, when you have the momentum like that, you use your strength at the net, and Ajabadi just did, and now it's...
Mark came to net that time, but that wasn't of his choice. He was in a very vulnerable position, and Ajabadi drilled it right at him, and Tepps had very little in the way of a response.
Right modeling, nails, facials, Schwarzkopf hair color from Germany. They're in the Denby, right across from Denby Crossing, 886-5884. 2 games all, it's deuce. Greg Bicaveras, Jim Bodensick, and now Sonny Dirth with us in the broadcast booth as we bring you the pictures across the air on this tennis match, first time on TV.
Mark Tepps is showing a little frustration, having lost the last 2 games, hitting what he thought might be a winner to Murray's backhand corner, but Ajabadi called it out.
According to Jim, this match has gone about 1 hour and 20 minutes so far. Or long, oh, okay, that's 2:20. Military time there, Jim. It's about 2 hours long already. Tepps a little frustrated.
Frustration coming out again. He needs to shake off and start over again.
Won the district tournament the last 2 years. He's really,
as well as the Eastern Regional, and he went to state.
Yeah.
Both years he was 3rd. In fact, he was 3rd in both his junior and senior seasons for the Lafayette Rams.
Ray Price also doing camera here. Works for Channel 6, the Newport News Schools. Mr. Paul Cummings, broadcast liaison. And this has been exactly what this last match has been like. Are we getting bombed by someone here? That was scary.
Sounds like the War Memorial Museum is practicing with one of the old
Either
cannons
that or some of their old cannons are still being in use there. Don't want our tourists to see all that.
Sign of life from Mark Tepps.
Scores 15-30.
2 games all. Tepps was up 2 games to love, as you see OSMS. H.W. Trishman, Boyd Haynes, Robert Snyder, open Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 5. MRIs, sports medicine. Give them a call at 596-1900. They'll take care of you. They've taken care of Jim's daughter, Kristen, I believe, haven't they, Jim?
That's correct.
Let's see how this point goes. 2 games all. That's wide.
If you recall, Kristen, a former Peninsula District champion, now going to my alma mater, James Madison University.
Yeah, she'll be headed there a week from today to start her second year. Not playing tennis, however.
Yep.
Very difficult level of play at James Madison, above her ability, so she's working in the music area at the moment, a music major.
She could have been at Woodstock this weekend, huh? All those deadheads up there.
Well, actually, we decided to go to Nag's Head instead.
I don't blame you.
And I'll vouch for the fact they have an absolutely fantastic marching band.
Big point here, folks. 2 games all third set. Sliced by Ajabadi. Net. Big point. That's going to go out.
That's a good point by Mark Tepps there in a very key situation.
We'll finish the James Madison plug by saying the Marching Royal Dukes is the marching band. 300 and some odd strong, including flags.
Sonny, you're a big baseball fan. I know this baseball strike's got to be on your mind right now.
Well, it certainly bothers me a little bit, but there's other stuff to do like this.
Right. With tennis on TV, I don't have any competition now.
That's
no
true.
Baseball. Lob. Excellent reach by Ajabadi. And he takes a 3-2 game lead, Sonny, after being down 2-0 in the third set.
Right, that last point shows the virtue of just being able to get the ball back one more time. Ajabadi was a little out of position, but he made a good lob, and Tepps was about a step too slow getting to that overhead and therefore netted it to lose his serve and fall behind by a break here in the third set.
Number of close calls in this match. As I mentioned before, the players are calling their own lines. The chair umpire will only overrule if she sees a clear error. Tennis being a gentleman's game, and I think the players have had some close calls. I've seen some balls from our vantage point that may have been slightly out that were played. Serves as well as baseline shots. I think both Mark and Murray have been very fair with each other with the calls, and that's what's expected at this level of play.
Right, how could you live with yourself if you know you cheated your opponent out of a point or two during a match? It's very satisfying to win, but only if you win fairly.
So I want to thank you for also helping promote this tournament. You see at least about 100 people out here today coming out to watch throughout the day. Behind us
It's
in the
been
tent.
nice. One of the better attended finals I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, very windy out here too.
You see,
like your
you
old
see
buddy.
Brian Hogg and Susan Briggs.
And Jack
Former
Locke
Gloucester
trying
players.
to get his face in the camera there. Hello, Jack.
Getting their 15 seconds of fame.
All right, Ajabadi to serve, leading 3-2 in the third in the Newport News Open Final.
At Huntington Park, right off the James River. Sonny and I have been doing, like Jim, have been doing a year in review radio special since 1989. Sonny and I've been doing it since 87. Going over all the year in review in sports. We did an Anheuser-Busch Golf Classic together back in, I believe it was in June, Sonny, on WTJZ.
Right.
Drop shot by Ajabadi. Of course, Sonny writes the TV and radio column on Fridays for the Daily Press and the tennis column on Sundays. And this no baseball on TV. I guess Fox is just looking forward to NFL football.
Yeah, I got a chance to see a little of Fox the other night doing the Denver-San Francisco pregame show. Reminded me a lot of CBS, obviously, with those with John Madden and Pat Summerall, with a few new twists, like having the running clock in the upper corner.
Yeah, it definitely did. I couldn't barely see it that well, but I mean, it's and I've had a chance to work for some of the networks before doing that. It was funny because I worked with NBC. Now O.J. Simpson is no longer, of course, going to be part of that pregame show this fall. And he was last year, Sonny. And the guy that hired him, ironically, Terry O'Neill, is now with ABC News. That was wide.
Tactic used by Mark called chip and charge. Take the service return early, chip it, low to your opponent, come in right behind it, and make him pass you.
Steve Steak and Seafood House, 595-9483, owned by Artie. Great steaks and seafood at a very low price. $40-15.
Ajabadi with a big lead in this game got a little sloppy on that ball and didn't show the usually good footwork he often displays.
We recall from his previous game, he was up 40-love, back to deuce, and then ended up winning the game anyhow.
You can hear the wind in the background off the James River here. Tournaments all over the peninsula from April to August. As we're ending the summer here of 1994, it's been a very rainy summer on the peninsula, and we've been blessed with great weather today, Sonny. Your name says it all, Sonny Dearth. Here's a big point. Ajabadi's up 4-2, and you see it, Jim. He was down 2-0, could have been 3-0, and he's won the next 4 games. And that just shows you how he's kept his calm, cool, and collected. And Sonny, you've seen that over the years in tournaments too, how people just can use psychological advantages to an advantage. I know one particular instance you told me about Jeff Hurst one time.
Right, when you're behind, you're just trying to stay in the match, because when two good players are competing against each other, as is the case today, the match is going to have its twists and turns. You just can't allow yourself to lose your cool and lose 2 or 3 games in a row.
4 games to 2, Ajabadi. Tepes is serving. And you can see the confidence rolling in as the match winds down, with Ajabadi taking the controlled lead. He was up he won 6-2 the second. He was down 2-0 in the third. He looked a little fatigued. He took that break, Jim, and it's been all Ajabadi ever since. But who knows? And there goes World War III in the background. Channel 5 of Hampton, they're bringing you exciting high school football games, and Channel 6 of Newport News as well. Baseline right now is wide.
This is the 3rd consecutive set in which Ajabadi's led 4-2. In the first set, Tepes struggled but held his serve to cut it to 4-3 and came back and won the set 7-5. But in the second, Ajabadi, who trailed 2-1 at one point, won the last 5 games for the set. So this is a big game, folks.
If Tepes can get this game, he still has a chance. He goes into the break with a little water in his system and a chance to think about what's going to happen in the next few games. But if not, it was deep. And Sonny, Jim and I were talking about how important it is to take your 25-second break in between point overs in the third set. And you can see Mark wiping himself off the towel, and he's doing it now.
Yes, the easiest way to lose a point is to serve before you're ready. And even if you're the receiver, you want to make sure your thoughts are collected and you have a plan for that point.
You don't want to double fault now.
Hmm.
30-all.
Just a great slice backhand return by Ajabadi. Tepes really couldn't do much with that return, and that gave Murray a nice big opening to whip the forehand into.
It's amazing the composer is such a young player, Tepes, taking his time between points, concentrating, obviously deciding what he wants to do.
Big points.
And making his best effort.
It's deep. You can see the wind just push the ball back, Jim.
40-30.
They haven't changed the tennis ball much, unlike the baseball and the football, as far as the composure of the actual little tennis ball, have they, Sonny?
Oh, no.
I know you talk about rackets and
It's
stuff.
still very similar, though the rackets have changed tremendously. Mm-hmm. It seems like players hit the ball so much harder than they did when I was in the mid-'70s just learning to play.
Jim, are they entitled to change the balls to get fresh new balls after the third set still in Grand Prix rules?
Well, the rules have been modified for this match, partially because of having the ball boys. They're changing balls after the first 9 games, and then after 11 games thereafter. You count 2 games for the warm-up, and so that assures that there are fresh balls in play at all times. With the ball boys and ball girls, the balls are rotated so that the players are not using the same ball. Very important. You see that server wants to get that ball with the least amount of little fuzz on it. You see him looking at it sometimes and then discarding a third ball.
Right, that might add maybe 7 or 8 miles an hour to his serve, something like that.
Ajabadi has the advantage, and this will be a big momentum for him up being up 5-2 in the third set. A very monumental point. That was a loud one, Jim. Who knows what that was? I'd never heard it out here before personally. Big point. Ah, big point for Mark Tepes right there to keep the match going on somewhat. Kind of like that ever rider with Energizer Bunny. Both these guys just keep on ticking.
No, if these guys weren't so good, they wouldn't have reached the final in the first place. There are a lot of outstanding players in this tournament, such as Holden Knight, Will Hagler, Brian Rowe, Jimmy Cho, his brother Jonathan Cho, who just won the 14 under state championship.
Sonny, how would you compare? You played a lot against, after this point, advantage Tepes. You played a lot against Shannon Seeley. You're 27 years old, that age group back in the mid-'80s, and you still play a lot of tournaments now. How would you compare Mark Tepes as a senior at Lafayette versus Shannon Seeley as a senior at Phoebus High School? Who was better?
Well, Tepes is nationally ranked, which Shannon wasn't, but Shannon was a mighty fine player in his own right. The accountant for Easton Wasson Westfall now in Hampton. Mark might be just a tad better, but it would have been a great match to watch.
All right, we're going to...
Shannon, an outstanding competitor.
And welcome back to Huntington Park Tennis Center in beautiful Newport News. Greg Bicaveras along with Jim Bodensick and our guest now, Sonny Dirth of the Daily Press, joined us in the first set. Tepes won the first set 7-5, lost the second set 6-2, and now is trailing 3-4 to Murray Ajabadi, who played for Dr. Screen at HU. And the tie has changed in the third set. Tepes was up 2-0 in the third, and Ajabadi won the next 4 games, and Mark hung in there with that last game, Sonny.
Boy, it looked like Tepes could fall behind 5-2 and put himself in an almost impossible position. Now Mark is on the side with the higher slope, and he should have a little wind at his back. So I look for him to attack in this game and try to tie up the match with a service break.
Paul Cummings, our broadcast liaison, thank you very much for all your work. Hair Razors, one of our sponsors. 17 businesses made this tennis match possible. And Tepes, those full 90-second breaks during changeovers, it's like a breath of fresh air when you can get those breaks, Sonny. And the wind is helping a lot too, of course.
It certainly helps. You need something to keep you cool out here because it's Virginia and it's summer, and that's all you need to say.
Yeah, tennis on TV. We've had it on the radio specials. We've had a chance to be with both these gentlemen on radio a lot the last several years. And now we're all getting a chance to broadcast tennis on television, a sport that all of us love.
15 all.
And Jim, we're trying to get people to be aware of tennis. And this is a way to do it.
Tepes, another great forehand down the line return.
5:30.
He had a good backhand cross-court passing shot on the first point of the game, and he has an opportunity to score a service break and even this thing up.
Folks, what you can hear in the background are it sounds like some cannon practice or something. I'm sure this, as a tennis like golf, anything can interfere with the player's concentration, and I'm sure if you're not mentally strong, as you see Mark Tepes right now taking a break, a mental break kind of, it can really distract you. And I know golfers hate it when a spectator gets close to him, Sonny, and tennis is no different.
Well, Tepes wanted a lead called on that last point, but he didn't get it. So it's 30 all.
Big point. And he takes the shot at the net, Jim, and that's the, as a doubles player, the beauty of getting a point at the net.
It's nice to have that ball sitting up, being close to the net to angle it off for a winner.
What a strange turn of events.
They added fireworks in our match here. The tennis is giving us plenty of that.
It's not the 4th of July either. This is August 1994.
I'm just worried one of those is going to come up on somebody's second serve and cause them to miss a shot they wouldn't ordinarily miss.
Great ground stroke tennis, lobs, drop shots. We're seeing it all today. Uh-oh.
Almost punctuating the end of the game there. 4 games all, third set. This one's going down to the wire for the men's open singles title of the Newport News Open at Huntington Park.
Let's set the scene for you here. It was 2-0 Ajabadi in the second set. Then Tepes came back and made it an even match now at 4 games all in the third set. Tepes won the first set 7-5, lost the second set 6-2, was down 2-0 in the third, and now it's even at 4-all.
Nice volley by Mark Tepes there. He would seem to have the advantage in this game because, first of all, he's got the momentum. Secondly, he's serving, which is always an advantage in tennis in a match between good players. And he's got the wind and the court slope on his side. So Murray Ajabadi needs to hang in there and wait till he will serve from that side in the 10th game.
Tell the folks to please help support the businesses you see on your TV screen. They've made this tennis match all possible. Jim and I and Sonny Wall will take care of them very well, as they've taken care of us today. Businesses getting behind sports and community and relationships, that's what it's all about. 17 different businesses: Right Modeling, PS I Love You, OSMS, Virginia Enterprises. We'll get through all of them in just a minute. 4 games all, 15 all, right, Jim?
30 love for Tepes.
Just, you can see the fire in Tepes' eyes.
Although he's not showing it, Murray Ajabadi must be a little frustrated himself. It looked like he was in great position to go up 5-2 just a few minutes ago.
Absolutely. And he was down 2-0. Tepes was, and has come back.
The lob is just long for Mark, serving at 4-all, 30-15, final set.
I think that was a smart move by Ajabadi there, trying to attack a little bit and change the tempo of the match.
Tepes was up 2-0, and now it's 4-all. Match has been officially 2 hours, according to Paul Cummings, our broadcast liaison, after the warm-ups and all.
Serve is long, 30-all.
30-all, we're even, folks. 4-all, 30-all in the third set. First time a tennis match has been on TV. Sonny, we got lucky today, friend, I tell you.
Fantastic.
Weather's cooperated.
The fans out at the park and on cable TV should be getting a taste of some of the finest local tennis in Hampton Roads.
And we're seeing it today. Advantage Ajabadi.
And see, here's yet another turn in the match. It was 30-love a second ago, and now it's 30-40. And if Ajabadi gets this game, he will serve for the match, and it's break point.
He'll be 25 in November 24th, right before Thanksgiving.
Excellent shot to save the game for Mark. Back to deuce.
Tepes came up big there.
And he's stretching out a lot, pulling out all his joints and ligaments. Holly Williams also did an interview with us. She's with 96X.
ROX.
You're a big fan of modern rock, aren't you, Sonny?
Yes.
Let's watch this point. Deep.
Just deep.
Ball was long, just barely. Tepes took a chance by not really getting prepared to hit that ball. If that ball had dropped in, he would have been in big trouble.
Sonny, tell the fans, is it harder after this point about hard courts, playing on clay courts and grass in the summertime? Save your thought for a minute. Wide, and Tepes gets a big advantage, 5-4 in the third set.
Okay, hard courts are a little faster than clay, and the bounces are better because the court stays relatively the same. It can be a little tougher on your feet and knees because of the pounding they can take. Clay is slip and slide around a little bit, but it's easy on your feet. You have to hit better shots to approach the net because if you don't, the ball sits up for your opponent and you become easy fodder for a passing shot. Grass, personally, I've never played on, though I'd love to someday. The ball bounces extremely low on grass, and it tends to favor the net rusher.
Grass is a strange experience, I can guarantee you. I was able to play on some grass that was not particularly well tended, in that it was rather spongy, and it was just a total different situation. I'm sure that the manicured and firmer courts of Wimbledon and at Newport are much better than what I played on. And
Newport, Rhode Island, the Tennis Hall of Fame.
I also played at Newport, Rhode Island, but we were kind of out in the field where they put the net posts up kind of here or there, wherever, and put some lines down with chalk, and there you go. So it was definitely an experience. For a serve volley player, obviously that grass court is a tremendous surface for them.
Yeah, that's one thing. I try to never let the ball bounce except on the service return where
That's it.
you have to let the serve bounce, but otherwise I think I try to volley everything.
Let's set the scene. We're at Huntington Park off the James River. This is the last Grand Prix tournament of the year. Greg Picaveras along with Jim Bodensick and Sonny Durth of the Daily Press. All good friends here in company watching a great tennis match. Tepes up 5-4, and he's up love 15. That was a big point, the mental standpoint of getting that first point in a crucial game. Tepes won the first set 7-5, lost 6-2 in the second. You can see the sweat off Tepes's, check that, Ajabadi's shirt is just drenched.
Murray just a little bit tired on that ball coming in. And let's see what he does with the next point.
Great tennis today, folks. Glad you could be a part of it. Uh-oh, nice lob. It's deep. Just deep.
For a second, I thought that ball was going to go against the wind and drop in, but it just barely missed.
Jerome way up there on top of the truck. We see you, buddy. Jerome, our cameraman up there. Ray Price.
Tennis player's parlance, good eye from Murray.
That red and white umbrella. Scotty Bowers in the truck. Beverly, Penn, and Bianca doing a great job, like always, as they do during the football and basketball season. Channel 5 in Hampton. Nice lob by Tepes. What a lunge that was, folks. You're seeing it all today. Deep! And that was a crucial point, and that was also fatigue. Sonny, it had to be.
That's unbelievable. That was one of the best points of the match.
Ball coming down slowly, the wind carrying it from place to place, and a little lack of concentration there. Score is 15-30.
15-30, so if Tepes can win this point, he'll have 2 match points against Murray Ajabadi's serve.
He's up 5-4 in the third. Ajabadi graduated from HU is serving. He's from Nigeria. Deep. Double match point for the
2-time Eastern Region champion.
Yeah, from Lafayette High School.
Lafayette. Headed to Tennessee, Chattanooga
and
next week.
He has kept his calm and cool, the young 18-year-older. Just turned 18 this past July. Let's see what happens. $15.40. Sonny, and you see how Ajabadi, even during match point, is calm and cool. Went for that shot down, that backhand slice across the net.
Excellent backhand cross-court volley. That's one of the hardest shots in tennis to hit, and that's really the shot he needed to hit there, because if Tepes had been able to reach that ball, I think he had an opening toward Murray's forehand.
Needs one more point for the save.
That out. What a scoop that was by Ajabadi. Wide. Deuce. And
shot just missed.
Just as the wind blows.
And Ajabadi's even on his serve at deuce here in the 10th game of the third and final set.
Yes, it is. Third set, Newport News Open on TV, on cable TV. Done some radio specials. Glad you're with us. Huntington Park, third set of the Newport News Open men's final. Deep. They also have Grand Prix doubles, mixed doubles, junior vets. They had the Masters in 1990, the Hampton Tennis Center. 1991, it was at the Kings Mill Tennis Club. 1992 through 94, the singles has been right here at Huntington Park. Doubles has been at Back Creek the last couple of years, and it's back to deuce. Tepes is a warrior, Sonny. He has shown it, and his athletic ability and his maturity have really played dividends in this match.
He's a big, lanky guy, and I think he wants to win this match very badly.
He does.
He's certainly shown it, and in his rallies from service break deficits in the first and third sets.
And we're absolutely just tickled the way this match is going on from a television standpoint. Drop shot by Ajabadi. It's wide.
Kind of a low percentage play by Murray Ajabadi, seeing that if he missed the shot, he'd be down match point, which he now is.
Jim, I'm wondering from a ball boy and ball girl standpoint of view, after this point, if they didn't have them, being the conditions they're in, the weather, the third set, that could have changed the entire match.
Other players may be a little more tired.
Here's what happens. Third set. Match point for Tepes. And on a winner, Mark Tepes wins the finals of the Newport News Men's Open on a cross-court forehand. And he wins it 7-5, 2-6, 6-4 as the first match of the Newport News Open Men's Final just completed on local cable television. And Jim, and first of all, let me get your thoughts on the final match. We're talking to the players in just a minute. What a way to culminate the Grand Prix season for 1994. As the director yourself for the last 4 years as the head tennis coach at Ferguson, we've done radio specials, and as I said, we've been thrilled like newborn fathers on this final tennis match today being on TV.
I don't see how we could have had a better match today. It ebbed and flowed, one person advantage, then the next, going back and forth. From a spectator standpoint, it was an excellent match. Had some baseline rallies, had some good serve and volley points, anything a tennis player could ask for, or a spectator.
Sonny, your thoughts?
Exactly. I echo that statement, Jim. Tepes with a good rally. Kind of surprising that he could beat a player with the experience and the discipline and the composure of Murray Ajabadi.
We're seeing
I think this will
point.
really help his confidence as he goes to college in Chattanooga.
Okay, Sonny, thanks a lot for joining us.
Yes,
and
thank you, Greg. It's been a great experience, and I'd like to thank all the people in the community and the businesses for bringing local tennis to cable television
Thanks.
on the peninsula.
We'll see you soon, probably on the radio or in the newspaper.
Yes, thank you.
Sonny, thanks a lot.
Sonny.
We're going to go take a look, Jim, at the trophy presentation in just a minute. And Mark Tepes, who I can say, as watching him the last 4 years, his name brings electricity to the tennis game. He is a competitor. He's a fighter. He just beat a world-class player, Jim. And these tournaments and mental toughness have really paid off for him.
Well, it's a super match for the young man. Murray Ajabadi has pretty much had his way this year with the local tournament players. I don't recall him losing a match in local Grand Prix competition. Mark has been off playing some other tournaments and has only competed in, I think, 2 previous Grand Prix tournaments. So it's an excellent win for the youngster. Getting ready for the trophy presentation here.
Thanks a lot for coming out here today, and what a match to be on local cable TV on the peninsula.
It was a great match. They both played real well. It's a shame that he had to cramp up 2 points from the end of the match.
Right.
Murray Ajabadi experiencing a little bit of leg cramps there.
He had a cramp in his thigh. And
from the officiating standpoint, Gene, how was the match? Well, I explained that the players were calling their own lines, and you were only overruling clear errors.
Clear errors, that's right. And it was a fair match. They both called real good calls. There were a couple of overrules that I made, but they were clear overrules to me. And that's what I told them. I would only overrule on a clear mistake. But they were both very fair. Very good.
From the sideline, it appeared the same way. Jean has had varied experience in officiating, including being a U.S. Open umpire. She's currently the tournament referee for the National Girls 16s Clay Court Championships in Virginia Beach, which I was fortunate enough to work with her last week.
It was a big help to me.
Last month, I guess it is now. And Jean has helped me along in my officiating career. Most appreciated.
Well, I enjoyed it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it.
How about the behavior, Gene? Were the players being cooperative?
The players were very good. They were both very, even with an overrule, there was no question on it. And, there were a couple that Mark Tepes thought I should have overruled, but they were good calls to me.
That means a lot. You see a young kid, 18 years old, to hold himself out here in this type of environment on TV and officials and ball boys and ball girls, showing the maturity to not be down on himself and to fight back.
That's right. He did a good job coming back, and even when there were some calls that he didn't think went his way that should have, I agreed with Ajabadi that there were good calls, and Mark didn't. He accepted them, and that was it.
And how about Brian Cogg's ball kids?
Oh, they did a great job.
They were almost invisible, weren't they?
They did a great job.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
They were fantastic.
Okay, we're going to take a break and come back with the final presentation. Gene, thank you once again.
Thank you.
Okay, Greg Pickaveras and Jim Bowden sit courtside here at Huntington Park, where the final match score was Mark Tepes winning the Newport News Open men's final, 7-5, 2-6, 6-4 over Murray Ajabadi. We'll be back with the final words after this.
Too many children in this nation are being held prisoner. Their captors are fear and violence. Their playgrounds are no place to play in. As a parent, I want this violence to stop. As your president, I'm committed to ending it. We must strengthen our families, neighborhoods, and communities. We must give our children a future. We must take away their fear and give them hope.
Do something now. Call 1-800-WE-PREVENT.
We must give our children back their childhood. Working together, we can.
And we're back at the finals of the Newport News Open men's Huntington Park Tennis Center. Greg Pickaveras along with Jim Bowden and the men's winner here, the finals of the Newport News Open, Mark Tepes, just graduated from Lafayette High School. And Mark, first of all, excellent job today. You've had the experience to do it before, and tell us about the match.
I don't know where to start. I played good first set. I was a boom. My serve and volley was working good. Second set, I let up a little bit. He was more aggressive. I was hitting shots from my back foot. Third set, I'd change all around. Just think about new set, new match. Everything's new. Had to win my serve. Most important games for the first couple games. And then after that, I cruised and I felt good. It was hot. I was cramping up a little bit.
Right.
But I just kept on. I just tried to keep it back and let them hit more balls and more balls.
You just graduated from Lafayette. You're going to University of Tennessee, Chattanooga on a partial scholarship. And you look at that first set. It was going back and forth. You had the lead. He had the 2-1 lead in the first set, and you came back and won 7-5. And you think about it, that was the momentum that got you into the rest of the match, I'm sure.
Yes, it was good. My serve, that's what it was. It was my serve. My serve has been picking up the last couple of weeks. I changed my serve a little bit. Toss was a little higher. I came in, I go through the ball a bit more, and I think my serve was a big factor in this match today.
Jim, you've seen Mark play the last 2 years as a head coach at Ferguson, and you've seen him several years as a Grand Prix and a junior tournament director. Do you have anything to say to Mark about his match?
Well, I have seen Mark in all levels of play here lately, and I just want to congratulate him for coming through with a great match. I mean, it's just super. I know you played some high school tennis this year, which was great of you to support your school and your team when you had the other endeavors as well with tennis. And I just want to wish you a tremendous amount of luck at the college level.
Thank you very much.
I think you've got more steps to take, and you've got the capability of taking them. And I'm not sure there's anything that can stop you if you want to do it, if you'll put your mind to it. And I think you will. Congratulations on a super match.
Thank you very much.
You just beat a world-class player, whether you like it or not. He played for Nigeria's Davis Cup team back in the late 80s. He played for Hampton University. And you kept your composure and your strength. What has been the biggest turnaround from, you say, your freshman year? Of course, you've gotten bigger, to beating these guys and to advancing your level so much.
Yeah. Last couple, like maybe end of my senior year, I've been lifting weights, and I think that was a big factor too with these bigger players. I mean, they're hitting the ball so much harder, especially when I go Division I tennis. It's going to be, everyone's on the weight program. They're going to be hitting serves, and I just got to get ready for that.
You were up 2-0. Let's talk about the third set. You were up 2-0 in the third set. He came back and won the next 4 games and made it 4-2, and then you won the next 5 games to. You won the next several games to win 6-4 because he was up 4-2 and you won the next 4 games. What was the key in that? Because you were up 2-0, you almost went up 3-0, which would have been a big monumental lead, and then he came back and took the momentum. It was like, and that was just.
I got a little too confident then. I thought I had 3-0. I was thinking I had 3-0 in that game, but it turns around so fast. And then he came in. He had a good streak coming. He came to the net more, and I was just hitting back, and I wasn't more aggressive, and I was too tentative, and just.
Outstanding swimmer, soccer player.
Thank you.
Going to University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. You had excellent support from your family being here today. And
thank you.
You played a great match, young man, and we wish you all the best in the future.
Thank you very much, Craig.
Okay, that was Mark Tepes, the winner of the 1994 Men's Open of the Newport News Open here at Huntington Park in beautiful Newport News. Cool breeze. Mark feels a lot better now after the match is over with. Jim Bowden, I want to thank you for being a part of this broadcast, and our entire crew in Newport News and Hampton both for making this broadcast possible, and all, of course, our fine underwriters as well. So once again, Mark Tepes wins 7-5 the first set, lost the second set 6-2, and wins the third set 6-4 over the former HU star Murray Ajabadi, but Mark Tepes is a star in his own right. So long, everybody, from Huntington Park Tennis Center. We'll talk to you soon. Take a look at our fine credits.